welcome back. This is a patrons only two-parter. We finally were able to get everybody at the table, and we're going to be rolling through the last half of Chariot of the Gods. Last session, or the last half, the group ended up inside of the reactor core to the derelict ship, and as they, well, not everyone, three members of the crew came over and are there. It's their intent to overload it for destruction, if memory serves correctly. There was a strange material on the reactor's access, so they weren't able to start that process. And as they were breaking that away to get into the reactor to be able to do what needs to be done, a Evo suit that was near them, that looked like it had a corpse inside of it, did not have a corpse, instead had some sort of creature that has stood up in a very menacing way, and that's where we ended last session. Typical jump scare. Ooh, scary. There was probably like a audio stinger that I don't have the budget for, like a ooh, boom, like, you know, or something crazy. I think everybody got shifted into different squares, unfortunately, because that's always bound to happen when I log it in. Let's see, everybody locked in, good. Great. So, on Initiative 10, the second party that wasn't inside the reactor consisted of the pilot, the corpo, and a bunch of the people that have been rescued from the ship. I say rescued, but not yet, right? They are just coming down from the level above, and will be able to hear, due to the doors being left open by the other crew, the sounds of conflict as they begin. But at the onset of this, Leia, you know that the group's goal, your group's goal, is to catch up with the other team, and you're pretty sure it's the corporate people's goal, with the help of their loyal friends, to kind of put in check the other group, the new arrivals. If you'd like to, in this initiative segment, try and like get ahead of the group and catch up with your crew, you can do that if you want. Or if you want to stay with this group for whatever reason, that's also an option.
I would try to step out and catch up to them or head in the direction of the core.
So scene-wise, you kind of maneuver down the ladder kind of quickly after probably the lady with the shotgun, and then quickly brush past her, rush into the hallway. You don't hear the sounds of conflict, you hear the sounds of like the scraping and pulling off. And I would say that for narrative flavor, you're kind of opening up the door, or rather the door's already open. They probably left it open, why wouldn't they? But you're coming to the door frame just as the thing is kind of fully erect, kind of standing there, looming over Cham and Rye.
Oh.
Okay. Speaking of Rye, so it would go to you. And obviously, first bit of combat, and I'm also new to the game, so I'm going to try and walk you through it. Terribly so. Typically, you can just kind of do a thing, and as long as it's like, you know, for the scene, it sounds cinematic enough, or it sounds like it's functionally sound, then it happens, right? Unless it's something that sounds like it's going to be conflicting or contested or kind of like up in the air. So like we just did with Leia, she kind of ran down the hallway No checks are required, no limitations or anything. It just happens. It seemed narratively fine. So for you, as you kind of stand up and turn around, what are you wanting to do?
Scream, because what the fuck is that?
That makes sense. Sure.
Being completely in shock, in panic.
So, an example of kind of actions that you can have, and I'll show this to the players. The drawing the initiative has happened. Changing the initiative can happen if you read placement there. NPCs kind of don't really conflict with anything unless they're kind of hostile towards you. So I just kind of engage with them on an end of initiative tracker. So the actions that are kind of slow actions that will kind of take a bit longer, probably be the only thing that you can do, are kind of present there in the list. And then the fast actions that you can do that are kind of quick and like, quick beat kind of happening, those are kind of present there as well. And those are things that you can kind of do alongside maybe like a slow action. Could do alongside another fast action. You can do 2 fast actions, or you can do 1 slow action and 1 fast action.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you tell this champ, shoot that damn thing! It should be it's supposed to be dead! Then they're gonna get the fuck out. But if you said slow action and fast action?
Yeah, you can do a slow action and a fast action, or you could do 2 fast actions.
Okay. I guess give orders and then retreat.
Okay. So, if you have command on your character sheet, you can go ahead and roll command, and I'll kind of determine how that works. But since you aren't like a leadership person, I don't think you will, right?
Oh, no. This is just pure,
Yeah, okay. So then, if you want,
panic.
If you want to do it with a free, like if you want to add a stress to it and roll with a stress, I mean, I'm more than happy to let you do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're definitely adding a stress.
So then, yeah, go ahead and roll command and, yeah, add 1 stress to your stress pool.
That's for the dice to add / subtract for command. Is that 0 or?
Yeah, if you have command 0, then yeah, it's just going to be stress, I think. This is just a panic roll.
Okay.
Okay. So there are no successes here. With that said, you could push yourself, which would give you another stress, but I think this not being successful makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in charge.
This is a reactionary. Yeah, this is all reactionary to the thing that they're seeing.
1 success?
No, it's oh yeah, it is 1 success.
6. Yeah,
Okay.
6, 3, 3, 4, 4, 2.
Fair. I would say that I see the 6 now. My brain is dumb today, and only today. So I would say that with that success, you are commanding nebulously. Do you want that to be more directed? You have 2 individuals in the room who I'd say you are aware of it on set to be able to kind of issue a command to.
Yeah, I guess just like more out there, just not directing at anybody, just in general, just shouting it out there.
Okay. So then what I'll say is that it's just going to be in benefit. It's just going to add a modifier, I think, in this instance. Since you do not have command, it's not something you'll be able to like actually issue commands fully. It'll be like a bonus. It's kind of making them aware and kind of getting them on effect.
Yeah.
Okay. So then next on the docket is Cham.
Jam time.
Jam time.
I'm going to unload into it
Viking.
with my gun. Do I just...
So, shooting. The weapon's already drawn, right? You had it out?
I think so. After
that's fine.
it came out.
I would say that, like, just for flavor purposes, you were probably working. So draw weapon would be a fast action, and then slow action would be shoot firearm. And then the skill that you'll be using for shoot firearm is range combat. So you'll make a range combat skill roll. And, yeah.
It's been a couple weeks. It says
Sure.
dice to add, subtract.
So because you got the command, I'd say just add 1 extra dice. That's more than fair.
Get
Woohoo.
Okay, so 1 success, which means that you'll hit the target. And so now what I need is you to find me the statistics for your...
It doesn't say.
What weapon
It
do you have?
says the Armat M41A pulse rifle.
Right, which is actually the Wayland Storm
Yes.
rifle.
Yeah,
because
something
it's-
like that.
The M4 was not... It didn't exist in this time.
Right. Right.
Well, it didn't exist in the time of the guys you got it from. So its damage value is 2. Which
So I do
means
2
that
damage.
you succeeded once, so it'll do 2 damage. Now, how successes work in range combat, if you kind of get more successes than are required, then what will happen is with those extra dice, you can say, I want to add damage, which means you just add the damage of the weapon again for however many times you got it.
I get
right?
you.
Or for those extra dice, you can do stunts, which will be things like I shoot it in the leg so it can't run straight at Johnny's character, right? It can't chase,
Right.
can't give chase, or something like that. Something kind of cinematically kind of inserted into the bit to kind of allow you to like change the narrative a little bit. And that's what those stunts and those extra successes will be for. Okay, cool.
What happens? What happens if I push it?
You roll again, but yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. You got a success. Like if you want to, you're just going to add stress. Is what would happen on a push. Push adds stress.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I shot it.
All right. So the very signature sound of the pulse rifle, even though it's not technically a pulse rifle, it's a storm rifle or whatever it's called. I don't have the sound effect. Again, I don't have the budget. But we all know the sound this gun makes. We've all heard it. It's a glorious thing. It's a wonderful thing. And that happens. Theater of the mind. Cham done. Captain Miller, you are up.
Alright. Well, Captain Miller is going to back her way towards the door, but try to keep an opening for, what's his name? Johnny's character.
Okay.
I'm getting there, who that is. And she's gonna command him to get out. So as far as I know, he doesn't really have anything defensive. And then, I'd like to pull my pistol out on this thing. I don't think I can shoot it while also doing command, can I?
Yeah, so command, I believe, is a slow action.
Okay.
Give
and
orders.
Then pulling the pistol.
Pulling pistol is a fast action, so you can do both of those things. That's absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
I just can't shoot this round.
Right.
I'm trying to secure an out for Johnny's character.
If you want to not give orders, you could pull and shoot. That's absolutely valid. Pull is a fast.
Alright, then I won't give orders. Hopefully this kid knows how to get the fuck out of Dodge.
As a free action, you can say find the others, fucking run, and then pull the gun and pow pow. You don't have to give a command.
Yeah, that's
Narratively, that sounds super satisfying too.
Yep. And yeah, so ranged combat. If it rolls. Dice to add is just subtract. What was that again?
So your weapon is just going to be standard. So there's no bonuses here. It's just going to be straight roll.
Okay.
You also didn't have the bonus from Johnny. So this is a pair of successes, but it is also a roll of a 1 on your panic dice. So what that means is we're going to potentially have a situation where you panic. You currently have 2 stress, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, go into the chart. Bear with me here for a second. So you are going to roll a d6, and then we're going to add the amount of dice that you have for stress to the result. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Result level 1 through 6 says keeping it together. You manage to keep your nerves in check, but just barely. So gun out, and you kind of like nervously tick and kind of like say, "Get the fuck out of here, kid! Find the others!" Bam! And then shoot the thing. So that's 2 successes, which means you can either just double the damage, or if you want to say like there's a trick involved, like a stunt. It's kind of nebulous. There are some suggestions as to what that can be, but like I'm not going to read them to you because it's just a long list of shit. If there's something you want to kind of do with the gunshot to kind of make it more flavorful, instead of adding extra damage, you can do that.
We'll go with trying to do more of like military training kind of thing. So it's like aim for chest and head. I mean, I know I only get 2 shots, so first one probably misses.
Yeah.
Because it's probably holster fire miss and then chest head.
Fun fact about this game, ammunition counts aren't a thing. You shoot and you shoot and you shoot until you miss, and when you miss, then you're out of ammo. And then it's just a situation where you have to use your action
Press
to
a
reload.
button.
Yeah. I think it's slow action to reload a weapon. And if you don't have a reload, then obviously you're kind of stuck in it. But for sure, this game does not care about like the minutia. It's very focused on the overarching. So
yeah.
You want to double the
Basically trying to
damage,
get
like
the
just
chest one to that.
solid shots in the chest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the pistol. Does it have the damage stat on it or no?
It does not. It just says service pistol.
Well, service pistol. Okay, hold on. The M4A3 service pistol.
Be right back real quick.
You bet. Okay, perfect. So the loud spray of the pulse rifle kind of like causes the muzzle flare to kind of light up the room, and you can see the creature a bit more like soundly. Its face is starting to protrude out of the Evo mask, which the glass is broken out of. And like I mentioned last time, like the back of the Evo suit's head is kind of ripped open, and you can see like a bit of the skull cavity of the thing, right? The cone. And there's also barbs that are coming out of the back, like spine, like from the spine area, it would seem. That first spray kind of detonates into the creature, and you can see large kind of pops. And there's like a bright reddish colored liquid that kind of hits the ground, and there's like a sizzle. And then pop, 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 you fire your shots into it, and it backs away and kind of hunches over and then drops its hands to the floor, which your immediate response is like, okay, it's pretty wounded. But then you see its head kind of tilt up and its fingers kind of dig in a bit, and it starts to kind of like rush forward. Roll a d6 for me. Thing I love most about this I love a lot of things about this game system. It's really fun. But also, like, there's not a lot of agency on my part. I don't have to do much. As it kind of rushes forward, it kind of keeps low to you, and you're kind of confused by its movement. And then you watch as it, like, basically falls, like, face first onto the ground, like it's going prostrate, like, it's like, bowing full, right? And that's when you notice that the back of this creature is a bit longer than it should be. And it has a tail, which whips out at you. It slashes you. What is your armor rating on the Evo suit? Let's see. Or, I don't know if they're calling it an Evo suit. What are they calling your suit? Does it say it on your sheet?
It's the IRC suit.
IRC?
What I got. I think that's what we all
Mark,
put on when we came over.
You have the Mark 50. The Mark 35s are the ones that are on site. So the Mark 50 has an armor rating of 2. Okay? And so this weapon, this specific attack, slashes the victim with the tail. The victim is attacked using 10 base dice. Damage 2. Okay. And it is armor piercing, so it will have your armor rating. Okay, so with the extra success that I got, that's really depressing that I only got 2 successes and 10 dice. It is going to push for damage. What that means is that it's going to deal a total of 3 damage to you past your armor. And I'll also say that the tail slash will puncture and damage your oxygen supply as well.
Oh dear.
It's still working. You're still getting an oxygen feed, but it's going to run out faster because it's also depleting out of like the cut. Okay. Does the character sheet seem to be kind of intuitive on putting damage on yourself?
Probably somewhere.
It's on the left side underneath stress. It has health.
Yep.
I'm assuming when you fill it up, you die.
Yeah,
many?
you just kind of click them as they go.
Yeah, and how many health do you have?
A total of 12.
Okay. Cool. That is a slow action. Bear with me here. No, it attacks twice. Okay, roll another d6, John. Actually, no, it's gonna go for the runner. Johnny.
Oh, D6?
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
Okay. So as you're running out, it kind of like stabs the tail into you and then kind of power slides towards you after kind of slashing into the boss. And it's going to kind of like reach out and kind of grab at you as you're about to pass Leia at the door, right? Let's see. Your armor value is the same. So
Yep.
with my successes here, it's only going to do 1 damage to you past your armor rating. And it does hit. So what happens is Leia, as you're kind of standing there and Rai is kind of rushing towards the door trying to get out, the creature kind of slides forward, tail slams into the boss, kind of throwing her back against the wall, and then it kind of like skitters towards you, and its hand kind of rushes out, and this gives you more of like a visual on what I mentioned at the end of last game, where the fingers are kind of popped out of the glove. Like, I'm not talking like a little bit, I'm talking like a bit, right? Like, it's got massive fingers, and it looks like the glove part is kind of seamed in the middle, like these 2 fingers in the middle are kind of like welded together almost. Big hand comes flying out, grasps a hold of Rai, and just slams him down to the ground with like a kind of meaty metal clunk thud as the suit kind of drops down. Your suit isn't punctured. That's all just nice and kind of, rock and rolling inside of the suit, smashing the back of your head against like the suit helmet, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that is its turn. Wilson, you would probably hear, I'm assuming that when it got shot by the pulse rifle, there was the sound of the pulse rifle, but then there was the very cool sound of the alien responding to that. We all know what that sounds like too, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
The sound effects are amazing. Just believe me, please.
Yeah.
If you subscribe with Twitch, you
I don't have that power. Don't listen to him. Subscribe if you want, but just know I'm not giving you anything extra.
I guess I gotta go see what these people are fucking up.
For sure.
So I won't go all the way over there in case it is something dangerous.
Okay.
But I would like to try to go like to about here.
Okay.
And then be like, what's happening in there?
Temporally, as you're saying that to Leia, the gunshots are happening. You would see Rai get out, and then a massive hand come out and grab Rai and just drag Rai back in. Thud.
Oh. Well.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, I will kind of just relay that to the people in the elevator, that something's attacking them in the reactor room. And I don't really have much of any kind of actions that I can do.
Yeah, no problem. If you want to, like, you kind of ran after Leia, and if you have a gun, you want to draw it. Drawing it would be another fast action.
I don't have any weapons.
Okay, then just thumbs upping is a fast action.
Actually, question.
Shoot.
So, would I be able to try to manipulate the pilot into bodyguarding me?
Ooh, so I don't see any problem with that.
And I'm like, hey, get back here and protect me. I'm the one that controls your bonus.
So I would say that persuade is kind of opponent focused. So I'm going to ask Tom a question. And based on Tom's response, we'll determine whether or not you can do that. Tom, is the corporate guy an opponent?
I would say neutral. But Leia's main focus is the adrenaline pumping and this giant freaky monster that
Okay.
she is seeing for the very first time.
Give orders would be the key then. You would need to command, not manipulate.
Okay. Okay, do I have command? Oh, I don't have command.
From the pilot's perspective, captain's in charge, but corporate guy's also kind of up there, right? So
Yeah,
I don't think
couldn't,
Leia's...
empathy at, like, hey, the captain's got protection. I don't have
It's
any.
command. It's command. Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately,
I
you're
just wanna make
giving
sure.
orders.
Yeah, then never mind. I'll just kind of sit here.
Okay, cool. Wilson, done. So the officers, the NPCs, will basically fill in behind, but the soldier, Reed, will kind of step out in front of you. She does not breach, but she makes clear enough space between her and like the walls. Like she kind of leans in against one wall to allow Leia access to escape if she wants to on subsequent turns. So speaking of, it will go to Leia.
Leia will yell at everybody in the room adjacent to the core to take cover, and then what do I roll for the flamethrower?
That's a great question. I know this isn't going to be good.
Hey guys, take cover. Releases flame into room.
Sure.
Burn.
What is the
Burn.
flamethrower listed
Literally
as on
casting
your sheet?
fireball in a small room.
Yeah.
M240.
Hold on. Pause for a second, folks. I need to hear Tom. What is the name of it?
M240 incinerator unit.
Incinerator unit. Okay, cool. Okay, back to your bits.
Look, I'm high as fuck. I'm excited.
In the game? Oh,
Same, brother.
Sadly only.
sadly only. Okay, so the M240 incinerator unit has a range of medium, so it's going to fill out that room, I think.
Oh
Let me
my
just
God.
check something here.
Oh my god. Game that.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have two options, people inside. Okay, two options. Option one is you can take it. You can take it like a champ. But Leia did say before doing it, get to cover. Okay, that did happen. We all heard that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So in that option, just taking it, you're going to remain where you're at. You're not going to change positions. You're going to stay there. Option two is you can take an immediate point of stress and make a mobility roll to try and get out. If you take option two during your next turn in this initiative, you will have already expended one fast action.
Okay.
I'm just
I'm gonna go
trying
with
to
option two.
expediently solve the problem.
You can take whatever option that you want.
So it's a mobility roll? What the heck is that?
I mean,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a mobility roll.
Mobility?
well, I mean, I'm grabbed by the thing. How would that exactly work?
You're not grabbed by it, but I literally WWE'd you. That's all. I went bang, I just chucked you on the ground.
Are we adding
Okay.
any dice to this?
So no dice are added.
Okay.
Okay, you're out, champ. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Lark, success. And Rye, no success. If you'd like, you can push. It will add 1 stress to you, but you can definitely reroll it.
Sure. Let's do it. Oh my.
Okay.
God
That is
damn.
a success.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Yep. Okay.
Press.
4.
I'm gonna explain everything in a second, folks. There's a lot going on with the dice. Just understand. I'm reading the tea leaves. It's really fun.
All
So-
I did was ask one question, and
Wait a second.
Oh, I mean, it was a very short
Okay.
response.
What items
Or-
are you currently carrying on your person, Rye?
Let me see. Not really. Just the bolt. Oh, I have the bolt gun, 4 shots. I have the photo of my brother, and just the suit.
I'm
Other
gonna
than that-
I'm gonna say that narratively, it is more satisfying for me to cause you narrative drama than to cause you mechanical drama. So what happens in this situation is Leia flamethrower up, right, and says, "Everybody get out," or whatever they said. Lights it. You can hear the click. You can see the flame. Incinerator unit goes blaring. Cham kind of turns his head, holding a pulse rifle, drops it down like almost like just perfectly, like, and darts right out of the room. Slightly less perfectly is Captain Miller, but she is very much kind of like, in a panic state with everything that's going on, and gets out right behind Cham. And then Rye, as you kind of run, you slip on something, which is like a piece of the material you've been chipping away at. And as you fall, the photo of your brother falls out of your pocket. You try to reach for it, but the flame gust catches it and pushes it into the room. As you push yourself past Leia, you can see it like immediately kind of emulated into nothing. You gain an additional stress.
No. Okay. Additional stress. Love it. Just question, what happens when we hit 10 stress?
You have 10 stress, and that means you're rolling a shit ton of extra dice, so there's more of an opportunity
Okay.
of you rolling a panic.
Okay, gotcha.
Keep in mind, you roll a
Okay.
1 on one of those dice, those yellow dice, it's shit city for you. I have to have you roll
Yeah.
a panic roll, and there's literally shit where you just stop existing. Like, you go into a catatonic state, and that's it. You're done. Like, GG. It's,
or you could roll so many successes and not hit a 1 and stunt on all these hosts.
yeah, you can roll so many 6s. Think about it.
Stomp on
You're
those.
increasing your power. That's what's happening. That's why
Yes.
that's why we
I'm helping.
are forced into stressful situations in real life. What also
Yep.
burns up in the flame, though, is the creature. Its screams sound like a mix of like weird human tones, but also like this almost kind of like panicked primal thing that is more of like a high-pitched screeching than like, what the size of the thing you would expect it to be. Eventually, the flames kind of burn out, and the room is cleared. Slightly more charred than it was before, but cleared.
Back to work.
Problem solved.
Right.
Okay,
Yep,
Right,
the
go
door's
in
not
there,
gonna
try to-
open itself.
So I
so
was gonna go in there try to cover the picture that was not burnt in a desperate attempt. But
yeah,
futile.
I don't know if you've ever seen a picture go up, but
Oh yeah, I know, but it's just denial.
Fucking gone. Just ashes.
I know. Still trying to pick up the ashes.
Rye kind of moves to that. Leia, Miller, what do you two do as Cham kind of moves right back to the wall and starts kind of getting back to work?
My instinct says to yell at the company motherfuckers, but that's probably not
Elliot.
That would make for a great
Hell
scene.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
fine. I will push my way literally past these motherfuckers and say, "What
Take
the
another pill while
fuck?
that's happening.
Okay.
A little bit of warning would have been nice."
You
How
would
am I supposed to know what's down here?
You would see the.
I literally just got on the ship with you.
Do you turn and look at the other corporate person?
Me or Lark?
You.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like the two of you are kind of creating a situation where.
I kind of can I give her like a slight wink when I look, like when I'm looking at her and the captain's not, seeing my whole face.
I would say like not so much a wink, but kind of like a I'm sorry kind of face, like a
Yeah,
as you kind of turn about. And Clayton will kind of look at you, and say, "We explained that there were problems, and that there were people who got away and were changed by whatever happened on the planet. I'm sorry that I didn't have full details on everything that was happening down here. We've been asleep for fucking decades."
So we can assume these creatures, whatever they are, can live for a while.
Are
or
your
reproduce.
individual crew members currently working on restoring the reactor to power?
Look at the captain.
Yes.
Then you've done nothing
Probably.
wrong, and nobody's dead, right?
I would say that some of your crew is dead. That looked like it was somebody in one of your suits.
No one that you woke up or that is present from your craft, correct?
Yet. Is there anything else that you can share with us that might make this whole thing go a bit smoother?
Once the reactor's on, I can take you to the science lab and we can discuss at length what we can and cannot share. For the time being, you're making the right move of it. If our ship is capable to be moved, we can head towards where we need to go. Looks over at Wilson because she doesn't know where you're expected to go. And be done with this situation and put it behind us. I'm sure that the bonus that was promised to you by Mr. Wilson here will be sufficient enough for you to be sated in all of the panic and problems that are currently plaguing you and your crew.
And I will personally give part of my bonus.
Ah!
If anybody
She
that-
immediately cuts you off with like a kind of just panicked kind of and like grasps her head and she kind of presses her face against the bulkhead and kind of like you can see that she starts bleeding out of her nose.
Okay,
Ah.
I can check on her.
Oh god, it must be the cryo.
I'm gonna take one of the syringes out and inoculate myself because my suit has been contaminated. I'm also gonna peel myself out of the damn thing because it's useless to me now.
Yeah, there's oxygen. It's just a very stale kind of like musty
Smells
kind of
like mold.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
All the spores.
It's all the spores, yeah.
Jam's gonna come to the door and say, "Is there an issue outside here? What's going on?"
I think there's an issue. on this
Apparently, the
entire
one lady's
ship.
really, really allergic to giving out money.
Yeah, these fucking corporate types. They go back in.
She's come down with
Wait.
capitalism.
How do I reward you for good comedy in this game? Do I say you remove stress? No, I can't do that. That kills the narrative. I can't reward you, but I want to. I just know that. Tom.
Reward them with more stress.
Okay.
These fucking corporate types.
But
That would be great. These fucking corpo types. She will kind of clear herself. You would see that she is bleeding from her nose, Mr. Wilson. But she kind of very quickly kind of covers that up. You would see too that the officer, the first mate, is giving her kind of a look, and Reed kind of looks at you as you're kind of disrobing and kind of getting ready to inoculate yourself. She kind of shoulders her shotgun and kind of leans down and she kind of like explains to you like how you want to do it. Reed's the Marine type, so she kind of like was the one I believe who helped Leia.
Yeah, she
do
did
it.
Leia.
Yeah, so she kind of helps you through the process. At this point,
Did anybody else break their biosuit? I'm guessing no.
no,
no.
I ain't touched.
no.
Let's try to keep it that way.
For those of you who are not broken and have not breathed or have not been contaminated, I need you to go ahead and roll an oxygen roll at this point.
And that was how many ever air
However-
spellmen have D6?
Yeah, number d6 is equal to the remaining oxygen.
What was that again?
Your oxygen level.
Oh,
It should be
oops.
listed as air. So, yeah.
Air.
Okay, so you don't want to get 6s on this one, is the thing.
Nope.
So,
Oh.
I
Dang.
do have a question.
yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I remove the oxygen tank from my
Mine says
suit?
0.
Kind of like shut it.
Sorry, hold on a second. Go ahead, Lark.
Can I close off the oxygen tank from my suit and remove it from the suit?
No.
No.
The helmet, yeah, the helmet is kind of connected at the neck. You've seen the suits. Like, they're the ones from Alien. They're just like in the movie.
I don't know how these work.
My air says 0. Should say something.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna suffocate.
My
Like-
food is 0. My power is 0. My water is 0.
So, right, you were in a panic state, and also your suit was technically damaged, but it wasn't like breached. So what I'm going to say is that even despite that, you're only going to lose 1 air. But
Okay.
during your next roll, it will be possible for you to, with the remaining 2 dice that you have, if you roll boxcars, it will clear your suit of oxygen. And what you'll notice is as you're kind of like coming to and you're checking in with Cham, when you got bodied and it slammed you kind of like back to the ground, it kind of created a kink in your like the nodule that kind of goes up to like the back of the suit, the kind of metal compressed portion, and there's like a small but not terribly bad kind of like puncture in that kink. You know, when metal kind of bends, it kind of unfolds. It'll kind of break that way.
Oh, I see. Do we have any suits around?
Nope.
Any? No.
It wouldn't matter
Ah.
right now because you'd have to leave the suit to get in another suit, and you might as well just stay out of it at that point and get inoculated.
Yeah, they are fine.
Real quick. I have air 0.
You should have at least 5. That's what your suit would have started at. Do you remember rolling air before?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember rolling any 6s?
I would have to.
Don't worry about
scroll
it.
up.
Here's what I'm going to do. Roll it once now for me. Air 5. We're just going to do a quick
Dice to add, subtract.
5. Should be a total of 5 air dice that are coming down on the table here. Oh, wow. It rolled all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Try it again. No add, subtract. Just
Oh, okay.
5 air dice.
I thought you were telling me to add 5.
No. Okay, so what I'm
Damn.
going to do with this is because you are effectively counting for a full suit, and we haven't been tracking yours for whatever reason, you're going to go ahead and be at 3 oxygen now. 3 air left. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you get back to repairing the mechanism? The fire seems to have helped with the...
Well, I think Rye is. I'm just kind of in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Helping, right? You're kind of just being like the sidekick?
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just pointing and being like, yeah, that right there and that.
You were also helping
Right
break
there.
off like the weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you two are helping each other. Ultimately, what I'm going to require is at the end of the day, Rye, I need you to go ahead and make me a... I told you what the roll was. Heavy machinery. I need you to make a heavy machinery roll.
Can I
New
help?
machinery.
You are helping, so you're also going to add 2 dice to your roll because you have assistance from Shan.
So add 2.
Yep. Okay, great.
Oh.
So, what I want you to know here is that you had no successes,
Mhm.
and you could push yourself in this, which means you'll just roll the check
Or-
again, but you'll add another stress.
Could I ask them to move over and me take over?
You could, yes. But
Mm.
regardless of that, there are 2 panic rolls I need, so go ahead and roll 2d6.
Just seeing the picture of the little brother just burn up, they're just not good mentally.
Okay.
Not at
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy shit, this is fun. You, as you're kind of working at the situation, like, and everyone just seems to be quiet and kind of like doing the conversations that we had. You just let out a panic scream, and nobody knows why, and everyone starts kind of focusing in on it, and you're kind of just shaking at the machine. Your stress level is going to decrease by 1, but everybody
okay.
else in this space needs to roll a d6 and add their stress level, because they're all going to have a panic roll.
Just in this space or everybody in general?
Everybody here. Yeah, everybody here.
So it's a 4 for me.
Okay, so 5, you're fine. You keep it together. You have 3 added to yours.
No, it's added a 1 to it, made it a 3.
Okay, 3 total. And then 6. So everybody got a 6 or lower, right? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so everybody keeps it together. You all kind of like, but you're fine. And then for that second, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna grab Rye and be like, hey,
Yeah.
take a second, take a break. Let me get in there.
Let's get Rye
For
out
that-
of there.
yeah,
I think
for that second
being
panic-
in there with that thing.
Some of the tools are dropped,
Yeah.
emits it, and you can see that like they're having a problem. And as you take over, Cham, you realize that the situation isn't as dire as Rye was making it out to be. They were just having a very hard time kind of focusing after everything that's happened. Go ahead and make a heavy machinery. You will not have help from Rye. Rye is not helpful.
No, it's fine. I don't know if I need it.
Let's get Rye out
Oh,
into
I
the
might-
hall and away from the
No,
monster.
you just succeeded.
Yeah.
You succeeded. You only needed 1 success on
Okay.
this. So you start up the reactor. Okay? When that happens, everyone feels the ship surge in one direction. It seems like it's moving to the left. Very sudden, but very sharply. And a kind of loud metallic whine and then scratching sound comes throughout the entirety of the ship.
Our fucking ship isn't.
And a very loud kind of like burst of sound kind of causes the ship you're in to shake.
Do any of us have the intuition to read that sound?
As a captain of a ship, you know exactly what happened. When the reactor settled back on, something caused the ship to jostle or oscillate, which caused it to tear the umbilical to your ship.
Oh my god.
We're here now.
Yeah. We could try to reconnect, but that's gonna take some wizardry.
You would need to get back to the top deck to be able to determine how bad the damage is, and also how far this tear has caused your ships to separate.
Yep.
I'm just gonna come to the door and say, "Who left the steering wheel?"
The familiar
All the
whine,
way to the left.
yeah, the familiar whine of the engines. For the space goers who are understanding, you would know that this ship seems to be moving as well.
What?
Did y'all not stop your
What's
ship?
What's the current course?
You would see the first mate say, "It should have just been on impulse."
It should have just been on impulse.
Did no one go
Did
to
we
the
check
front
the
to
ship?
check the...
When we checked, the ship was
Jesus.
on impulse.
Right. Did no one
I'm
go
gonna
to the
look
flight
to Wilson
deck?
and the Corp. I'm gonna look to Wilson and the Corp because they're the only other 2 people I know of that have access to Mother.
Yeah, but you would know that piloting the ship doesn't happen at Mother.
No, that's true.
And
Someone should probably
go ahead.
get up there fucking fast and figure it out.
Yeah, so the first mate, Johns, will say, "Did nobody check the front deck, the flight deck?" And he would kind of like look past Wilson and her and move towards the stairs and go up the ladder by himself.
Okay. maybe we shouldn't be by ourselves. We need to have someone go with him. Or multiple people. I'm gonna go with him. Hey, Leia, can you come with me? You're our pilot. You probably would know their systems better than any of us.
I mean, it's old as shit, but sure.
The other thing you're noticing is that as everything's kind of like powering up, you would hear kind of like an actuated voice, like a metallic kind of sounding voice, kind of chiming in, but you don't know from where. It's somewhere on this level. I don't think the flight or the deck you're on has a speaker system. Oh, it does. So it is coming from there, but because of the fire and the aliens, it's not kind of working the way it's supposed to proper. But it sounds like Mother is trying to kind of say something. There's some alert that's being broadcast that's not happening in this specific room. Then also, no, yeah, that's it. Sorry. I think that Clayton will stay with Wilson, as always. Miller and Leia, you're going with Johns.
Yes.
Excuse me. Rye and Cham, are you staying with Reed and the two corpos?
I mean, I assume.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess so.
We weren't told to go here.
Yeah, guess continue our work here.
I think that Chan would be trying to calm Ray down.
Okay.
Like, hey, all right.
Yeah.
Pats him on the helmet.
Miller, as you, Leia, and Johns are moving, John's kind of like on the ladder in front of you. You two kind of get onto the ladder. Once he gets to the top, he kind of reaches down and kind of grabs your hand, and like he's seeming to kind of move with a bit more like speed and velocity. But once you start to get like movement going, he asks a question. He said, "Where did you umbilical?" He asks like very technical questions, and I'm assuming you're just going to like on. Are you going to discourse with him and just tell him like everything about the?
We're gonna
Okay.
discourse.
So-
Above Junction B1, I think it was.
There's a scene where you're kind of rushing down the hallway, moving on deck 2, and kind of moving towards the front of the ship, where he's asking these questions and you're answering very kind of deliberately, and Leia's kind of rushing behind, kind of looking around, yeah, you make it to the front. When that happens, he immediately kind of jumps onto the hollow display table and like gets up onto it and like reaches up into the like overhead kind of glass structure and then looks out and he says, "Oh, fucking shit." And he kind of drops down from the table and like gestures up there for you to kind of do likewise. And when you get up and kind of look in that same direction, you see the back end of the ship. You see that your umbilical is dragging, and it looks like there's about 3/4 of it still connected to the Cronus. And way off in the distance, probably already like a good 100 kilometers behind behind the Cronus, is your ship, slowly becoming smaller and smaller in the black of space.
Fuck me.
He looks at you and says, "We're not on FTL yet," and he kind of looks at the steering station. Sorry, hold on, let me bring out the notes regarding this room, because we did just run in here without explaining a lot. But he ran in like he owned the place because he knew what he was looking for.
Yeah.
The command station, the bridge, it is now kind of more glowing than it would have been had you entered into the space, but the faint orange eerie glow is still present even though the lights are kind of on. It's like a darkened space, like the lights aren't like super bright or anything. The command station appears to work, and it does have a small compartment that houses the sorry, hold on a sec. Got it. It does have like the housing for like the piloting of the craft. You can see that the piloting systems, the stations, even though power appears to have been restored, it doesn't look like they are functioning correctly. the power when uploaded, it doesn't appear to have been connected. It looks like it needs to be disconnected and reconnected for these stations, the piloting stations, to work. And he's kind of shaking his head as he's kind of looking over that. And he'll say, I mean, if you want to turn it around, we can. But it looks like it's going to be a bit of an issue to try and get this station to work to be able to do that. He sits in Pilot Station 1 and looks over at Leia and then over to Pilot Station 2. And then he kind of, once seated, he kind of slides out of the chair underneath it, underneath the station, and kind of starts looking around underneath at the mechanicals. Leia, if you would like to try to do anything here, it would be heavy machinery to try and like do any fixing, or if you just want to figure out what's going on, observation.
Let's go with heavy machinery.
Okay. Okay. So this situation, it's the reconnect disconnect is a kind of hard process. So over the next 20 or so minutes, you're kind of like smashing at it with the tools that are available in the space. But you do manage to get power to flow to Pilot Station 2. And once it starts kind of glowing and is kind of activated, what you're realizing is that it looks like the engines are locked on their current burn pattern. So slowing the ship is not going to be possible. So what that means is for you is that faster is the only direction speed-wise you can go due to whatever's happening here. And if you were wanting to double back, it wouldn't be as clean a process as you would like. You would have to kind of wide angle kind of spin about to get to it. It wouldn't be a situation where you could tight pin turn it, like slow down, turn around, and come back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like turning a tractor trailer.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's a good thing I'm a hell of a pilot.
That's
Or
also
a
true.
Pilot.
It's not going to be an immediate process, is what I'm trying to say. If you want to turn back and go to the Montero, it would take a lot of time. I would say that it's such a problem, it would take probably half of the amount of time it would take just to continue flying on this burn pattern to where you're going. Does that make sense?
So it would take about half the time for our current our intended destination.
It would. So if you wanted to spin around to get back to the Montero, it would take you half the time it would take to get to your intended destination from this point. So if you were to keep just going, it would take you twice as long, but you also...
On a ship infested with a bunch of shit trying to kill us.
Fair. And on the way back, you'd have to deal with reconnect. This ship does not appear to have a tether. It would basically be like exiting out into the breadth and depth of space. And also, this ship doesn't slow down, so you would have to jump out of a moving vehicle at impulse or higher than impulse to try and connect with the other ship. There's a lot of problems here. Someone really fucked and put you in for
trying to dive into a Dixie cup worth of water.
Yeah, we'll kind of rub her arm nervously and be like, "Your call, boss lady."
I think forward is the way to go at this point.
Okay.
Time is not our friend. We don't know how many more of those things are on the ship.
Yeah, I want to get somewhere that I can get some painkillers for this headache. This place sucks.
Clayton and Wilson. She kind of pulls you aside, and she'll say, "How much does your captain know about old sub-patterns for the Wayland Corporation? If anything at all."
I don't think they know much.
Okay. Miller, go ahead and roll an observation roll for me. I'm going to make this a bit more difficult. I'm going to need 2 successes from this, not just 1 for it to matter.
Where the hell is certificate therapist. Without any special stuff. That's good.
Okay.
Nope.
You can push it if you want, but again, you don't even know what you're looking. You don't even know what you're looking for here. So you're adding stress for. Okay.
Nope.
So no successes and a panic. So
I get another stress.
Go ahead and roll a d6, and we'll figure out how it affects you.
Where is it? Dice. D6.
Okay. So 4 plus
4.
5 is 9.
Nice.
I would say that during this process of like
out.
everything that's kind of going on, you just kind of like drop everything and just kind of sit down in a chair, kind of absolutely just over it. Like you just literally whatever you're physically holding, you just drop it on like the hologram table or wherever, and then just kind of drop into the command seat, like absolutely just
corporate Jesus take the wheel, I guess.
Fuck. And yet you do increase your stress level by 1 with the 9 result. And downstairs, Clayton says, good. Then she won't find the emergency override keys for Mother located inside the pilot stations. We'll need to go up there and make sure that we secure them. This will also give us access to the corporate escape pods, if they're required. We'll head up in a moment. I just want to make sure that, and we're going to pause from us and go back to the inside of the relay control. Reed is kind of like, helping you folks kind of gather yourselves once the reactor started. And she says, there's no way we could have known what the ship was going to do when you turn it back on. Don't beat yourself up, kind of like pats Rye on the shoulder.
Well, I mean, he just gives them the glare.
Okay.
And he just continues working, ignoring their, attempted comfort.
Yeah. The two of you, once she kind of steps away, kind of are probably both thinking that the original mission was to get into this room and blow up the ship. As
not
that
anymore.
As that kind of takes place, Rye and Cham, do you two want to stay in the relay control or head off and catch up with the corpos?
I guess I'll look to Rye and I'll say, well, we're not, gonna...
Yeah, I know.
We should probably just, knee motions to the door.
Rye, you follow after?
Yeah.
Okay. Cham, you're alone in the relay control?
Well, do I need to reload the pulse rifle?
No. You don't have to reload it until it is no longer firing.
Okay.
I mean, you could, but it doesn't do anything besides get rid of
I didn't know.
Ammunition you had before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that.
Sure. Yeah, you should have no extra clips. I don't think I gave in any extra clips for it. It's just got what it has in it. So once it stops shooting, it stops shooting. And mechanically how that works is once it stops shooting, it stops shooting. Right.
It also says I have an
shotgun.
Underslung 30 millimeter pump action grenade launcher.
Yeah, this one does not have that.
Boo, boo.
Because again, remember, it's not the Amrat. It is actually an older version of the weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll follow behind the corpos.
Okay. So the course that's locked in is kind of erratic, Leia. It doesn't look like it's going kind of where you want to go. It kind of looks like it would be going to where you want to go was located 70 years ago. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you'd like to go
Not
ahead...
accounting for drift, as Stig said. Yeah.
The motion of the planets and all that. If you would like to go ahead and correct that, I believe pilot is the skill I'm going to need to have you roll.
Yep.
Okay. So you do panic a bit. Go ahead and roll a d6. You're not over a 6. So you're kind of like, a bit concerned as you're setting it in, but you do this so successfully that if you want to kind of style on it a bit, you can. Like if you want to shorten the route a bit, or if you want to kind of ensure a safe route, these are options that you can kind of put on.
Leia is going to be a little unusually frustrated about it and kind of hammering on the console, and then during one of those hammer-fisted smashes go, oh, that's actually a better
idea.
Wait, we'll get there faster. Yeah, I mean, this old technology, sometimes you got to use some percussive maintenance. Yeah.
John's kind of looks over at you and like gives you a thumbs up.
First time driving stick.
Fucking old bullshit.
You are chewing the shit out of the gear shifter. Fucking goes faster now. But
yeah, it didn't go at all like 30 minutes ago. Fuck off.
Wait. Are you saying you just dropped from third right into fifth? Just skip forward. You can do it.
We're fucking going. What more do you want from me people?
No, you did.
There's like a loud.
You did
There's
well.
like a loud.
You're
Chug,
good.
chug, 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 chug.
Fucking lucky I'm here. I burned the shit out of that alien. I'm getting us where we need to go. Fuck.
pour the transmission fluid out, and it's just like filled with metal flecks.
I'm just gonna take the moment to just like sit back in the chair and reflect on. Fuck, we just left Mr. Man back there.
So we'll deal with that in the aftermath.
Oh,
My
Mr. Man, I
God.
forgot. Why'd you remind me?
We'll
He's been watching me pilot a lot. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that in the aftermath. I do want to make sure that that's very clear.
At least he'll stay warm. He'll stay warm. He knows how to work the med bay.
For a
vents.
bit.
For
For
a
a
bit.
bit.
So, you folks exit the reactor relay control and you move to catch up with the Corpos. The Corpos, you state, once they arrive with you, that you're heading where? Where do you want to go, Wilson?
She said we need to go to the where the piloting stuff is. So
Okay.
that's where we'll hit.
Is that lady still bleeding?
Which lady?
The corpo.
The corpo.
Oh, no. She bled out of the nose. She wiped it clean. She's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Who had the
I'm
motion
gonna-
sensor last?
Me,
Oh,
Damn.
Captain.
I see.
Fuck.
Okay.
That is a great.
I-
That is a great question, Johnny, because it does lead into our next bit. But I do want to double check. So Wilson and Clayton say to you three, we're going to head up to the command deck, right?
Mhm.
And they will move into Junction C2, and we'll start up the ladder and head that way. Do you wish to follow them, or go? Okay. Who would be? Reed would be right after them because Clayton was going that way, so she was already locked in. Who would be the last person out?
Ooh.
Rye
That's
or Cham? And again, Cham, would you let
Well,
Rye?
actually, as they funnel in, I'm gonna talk to Rye. I'm gonna be like, hey, like, we gotta tell the captain that we, can't do the thing, but also, we gotta keep our eyes on this corpo, the blonde corpo.
Yeah. She does skip off.
There's a loud
bad.
electronic
But-
ping that interrupts your conversation, and the sliding door next to you opens.
Oh.
Which one?
Oh. Yeah. Which one?
The one that goes this way.
Oh.
Wait, from C2?
The one that goes in between the coolant tank and C2. This one.
Oh,
Oh. None of them went that way, did they?
Nobody went that way.
No.
As you kind of both stop talking, you look into the space, and there is a small bit of movement. A very small bit of movement. On the ceiling of this hallway, there is a metal grate that's kind of slowly swinging from the ceiling.
He's gonna look, Chip. We should get the fuck out.
Okay. You head over to the door and continue up. So I assume ladies first, Wilson. So Clayton goes up, right?
Yeah.
And then you go up after her, and then Reed right behind you, and then Cham and Rye will eventually make their way up as well. As you kind of enter into the space and move towards the hallway with the science sector, what you'll notice is that the lights are all on, and there seems to be shadows moving inside of the hallway here from backlights that are coming from this space here. So it's almost as if something is moving around inside of this lab. Clayton doesn't care and continues moving without concern towards the north side, and Wilson, I presume, likewise.
Yeah.
Reed is kind of behind but not fully stopped, and you're kind of like coming here, Cham and Rye.
Should we let them know about that? Whispering.
Who was the corporal that was with us?
Clayton, but she's well ahead. If you're gonna get her attention, you're gonna have to yell. Reed, on the other hand, you can just like reach out and grab and say, "Hey." And, like,
Actually, I'm gonna say that to Reed. Actually, it's a good idea.
And so as you kind of catch her attention, she stops and looks at you. Clayton, Wilson, you move past that point and you kind of move into the living area. And the last thing that they see of you two as the scene continues for them is the door shutting behind them from the living area into the hallways that lead up to the the bridge. She kind of looks at you. What is it? And she kind of drops her tone to match yours.
Before everybody went to the C2 up the ladder, we had the door open to a grate downstairs being swinging, indicating that something went. Maybe something like the thing that was in the room.
She kind of looks, and she would see the motion as well, and she kind of walks in and kind of holds her shotgun up, and she looks at you. Do you want me to check it out, or do you want to go check it out? I'll cover you. I'll back you up.
I think we should check it.
Okay. She'll move in. So the two of you start moving slowly. Rye, do you stay back, or do you kind of move up with them? Staying back.
Move up, but a little bit further away, though.
Okay. Cham, do you want to be the door breacher, or do you want Reed to go first?
No, they'll be the door breacher.
Okay.
No, Cham, let him do it.
A little bit of self-preservation.
Yeah, he's gonna gesture to like Cham, try to get attention. Let them do it.
As a
do it.
And I'm just like waving them off. I'm like, I know.
Okay.
Okay. Rye,
Yeah.
you watch as they look in the space, and you see Reed kind of like go in, move in, and check her corners, and you see Cham kind of move up behind her and kind of like take a position at the door. And as that's happening, the ceiling seems to fall slowly down. And as you look at it, you see a black, slick thing slowly descending. It seems to reach down with one appendage and place its foot down on the metal, leaving no sound whatsoever. In this moment, you have two options. Remain quiet, or try and alert your friends. It does not appear to be looking in your direction. As this thing is coming down, you are pretty sure you're looking at the back of it.
You know, when you say friend, you mean friend. Okay.
Sure.
Singular, but...
Reed hasn't been too terrible to you.
No.
But you'd be calling out to save both of them. Or get their attention to help you. But they don't look like... Whatever this thing is, which I will tell you from an above-table position, is a xenomorph.
Yeah.
Do you wish to bring attention to yourself, or do you wish to just be quiet and run away?
God damn it.
You are pretty sure that at your proximity, if this thing catches wind of your position here, it's definitely that whatever the thing that just came down just now on the back of it, the tail of it, could probably cut you clean in half. This is a very high terror, high stress situation that I'm breaking down to a horrible 2 choices, and I need you to choose soon.
I know.
Otherwise, shit is going to start hitting the fan.
Yep.
And you can just watch in horror as it does.
If it was anyone else but Sham, he would immediately ditch them. But Sham is... I don't get paid enough.
We're buddies. We're buddies.
I know,
We
are buddies.
I will say this: if you don't live, the one thought that would pop in your head, you will be just like the photo of your brother.
Yeah. And that's why I was thinking that I don't get paid enough for shit.
Do you run?
Leave.
Okay.
Don't leave.
So you make your way up towards the living room or living area. Cham, as Reed goes in, you turn back to look at Rye. You don't know why at this moment you do. And all you see, taking up the entirety of that hallway space, is solid black with a slickness to it. And then you
Like
see metal
abnormal.
teeth with teeth inside of them just vibrating angrily as it looks at you. And the inner mouth will detonate out of its mouth and slam into your body.
No.
What?
Yeah, so once that happens, you will be taking some damage. I am going to cut from this scene, though, because I think it's funnier this way, that nobody knows what's going on. And I'm going to type some shit to you that I've already kind of rolled and narrated on my side while this was kind of coming up to be. And you will be able to go with it from that point, okay?
Yeah.
Great. So you're like it's literally stress mode, right? Where the camera is strapped onto your stomach and it's like looking up at your face and you're running and it's just like the ceiling is kind of moving like past you as you're rushing through the space. I would say by this panic time, the corpos have made it to the door of the bridge and they hear the door behind them like slide open as Rye's kind of like quietly like just covered in sweat inside of their suit, just rushing in after you.
There was that big thing there. That's like similar to that one, but it's just all black. And I think those two might be dead. And shit.
Just as Rye says that, you would hear the sounds of pulse rifle fire and shotgun fire kind of just filling out the space. It sounds muffled because there's a bunch of metal and bulkheads in the way, but there's definitely the sound of a gunfight happening right now. The bridge, you're not hearing it as much because there's a lot more kind of like, especially since the console was fixed, there's a lot more kind of ambient sound that kind of fills out the space. What do you do, Wilson?
Proceed into the bridge.
Just like a disinterested look at Rye, opens the door, gestures for Clayton to go in, and they just walk into the bridge. Rye, do you follow them?
Yeah. You
You're
don't want to be anywhere near that thing.
You're all on the bridge. And
Man.
Clayton kind of looks at you like concerned, but will kind of walk over to the life support monitor and check it. And she says, "Oh, good. The air scrubbers are compromised, but they appear to be still pumping air."
What?
Where's Cham? And your marine lady.
They checked the room and just a big giant creature similar to the one that Leia scorched was there behind them, and I panicked and unfortunately I left them.
I'm gonna check the motion thing again. You're muted,
Muted.
John.
You're getting motion in your kind of immediate area, obviously the group that you're with, and there's like a blurring, like a blob of motion that you're sure is either like 2, maybe 3 signals that appear to be in the science area towards the back of the ship. As you kind of open up the scanner to kind of go a bit further than it's normally used to, it's kind of going towards the back of the ship.
Gonna mutter kind of irritably about, "Oh, I had to kill the other thing, I had to fix the ship, what the fuck are the rest of you even doing here?"
Let's go, Leia. You've got the flamethrower.
Somebody has to make sure the ship's going in the right fucking direction. Here, you take...
Okay. What's Reed? You want to come with me?
Who are you asking?
Reed.
They're already
That's
in
a
there.
John question. Yeah, I'm asking Reed if they're gonna come with me to go check on Cham.
Yeah,
and-
Reed's
Is
with
back with Cham.
Oh, that's not Reed then. Who's the guy? Sorry.
Johns.
I got them mixed up. Johns.
Yeah.
So John's on me.
Um,
I'll hold out the flamethrower for him.
hold on a second. He will take it. I'm gonna ask a question of John
Yes.
in the side channel. When you get out of the bridge, the shooting is not present. You don't hear the sounds of shooting.
Fuck, we gotta go fast. Let's get down there.
Okay, you're making your way that way. I'm waiting for a response to the question. Okay.
I just did.
When you get down to the science sector, I would like for anyone who went, so Johns, Miller, and Rye, did you go or are you staying?
Say it again.
Rye, is Rye going to check
Yeah.
and see what happened to Cham?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't give any orders because I think Rye's having a little rough.
John, if you start moving though, Cham will kind of, or sorry, not Cham, but Johns will kind of look at you and kind of offer you the flamethrower, the incinerator. It doesn't seem like he wants to have it, but he kind of takes the order from Miller and keeps a hold of it. But if you want it, he will pass it over.
Mm.
If I angle this right,
Okay.
it almost looks like my head is like on the spaceman.
Here, take-
This is what
Yeah,
all the
take
aliens are
that
doing.
Yeah.
that's your-
T-pose.
Wait.
For dominance.
That's what I like to do for
To
my
get-
cyberpunk one. I get the horns. in my head.
Go ahead, Johnny. What are you taking the flamethrower or are you
Okay.
no?
Yeah, I'm taking the flamethrower.
Okay, Johns will let you have it, and we'll kind of like stay in between, or we'll stay behind rather, you. And I think Miller would also kind of like probably press Rye to the front because flamethrower, right?
Whoever's holding the flamethrower should be up front.
Yeah.
Plus, you had an idea of what was going on down here.
So when you get here into the sector, what you'll notice is that the ceiling is kind of broken apart, and there's like a panel like hanging from it that seems to go up into a space in between the decks. You'd also see that there is blood all over the floor. Go ahead and make an observation roll.
Hey,
The two of you.
Yep.
Operation. Where'd that be? There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead and both of you go ahead and give me panic rolls, but you do seem to succeed. Depending on how bad this panic is, we'll see what happens.
It's a 10.
Uh,
Oh, that is a 6.
okay. So you are frozen in terror. And it feels like the situation that you kind of entered into is definitely one where you have no idea what happened here. You and everyone with you, John's included, will increase their stress level by 1.
Great.
Yes.
I cannot
Even-
succeed now.
Even more.
And
stress.
Bry,
Re-stressing.
you got a 5 or 1. Sorry, 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
5.
you're fine. You managed to keep it together. So with those successes, what you actually realize is mixed within the blood, you see this white fluid that's kind of splattered like blood, but isn't blood. You would know as an engineer type that this is synthetic fluid. This is what's used in androids.
There's a synth here.
You search around to the best of your ability, and you do not see any sign of Cham. And for now, John, if you would like to go ahead and just chill, or if you want, you can take control of John's for the time being. Your call. He might come back up.
What?
If you want to do something like so you're not just sitting on your feet for a bit here, or
Conception.
yeah, there's too many Johns. But I'm just asking if you want to take
sorry.
control of John's.
Which one's John?
The first mate, you can have him, but if you don't want to deal with that, that's fine too. I'm just saying, obviously, based on the side conversation, you understand that Cham is currently not playable, right? Like,
Oh, I didn't.
Damn it.
I didn't
I'm not saying that
not
that's permanent, because obviously you could. I mean, there's opportunities for what happened in the side chat to be rectified or whatever. You understand what I'm saying.
Oh,
Were you not paying attention to the side conversations?
no, I am.
Okay. Do you want to do any? Do you want to do anything like besides? Because they are looking around in that area for you, and they are not finding you due to what we discussed.
Okay.
We should probably press up to the science lab. And see if we
Okay.
can...
Sorry, Cham. Sorry.
Yeah,
Damn
you would,
it.
I'm gonna
you would be in
put my
science.
pistol on the hole above us.
You would be in Scilab 2. That's this big one where the firefight it took place at the door. So you kind of walked into there. And I think we already kind of discussed it a little bit. But
Right, is like frantically like looking all over, especially since they came from like the roof, from the ceiling down. They're looking
They're
intently
in the
up.
walls.
They're in this goddamn
They're in the
walls.
walls. They're in the ceilings. They're in the vents.
Signs. They're venting.
There isn't a goddamn place on this ship that's safe.
No.
okay, if you try to get into the Scilab 1 on the south side, it is locked.
Is there any motion coming from that area on the sensor?
There does appear to be motion on the other side of the door, inside of Scilab 1. That's correct.
Okay. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, so I'm not knocking on any doors.
Whatever it is
I'm
on the other
terrified.
side, the movement that you're getting, it's very superficial, and it appears to kind of be remaining in place. Superficial
Something in
moment
there?
could be anything like, from a level of like, just breathing heavily to like doing the Macarena in place, like whatever like motion would just be kind of like isolated to like a single stationary location.
Alright, and that door's locked.
Is there something in there?
No.
There's a control panel. If you want to try and force it, it would be, I can't remember what the check would be, but yeah, you
Is
could
that
try
this
and,
right here?
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to try to use the control panel to get that open.
Okay.
And Ryan
Or do I
just
need to...
I
flamethrower
am
just directly at it. Directly at it.
I'm checking to see what I would require of you. I think this is going to be, I want to say Comtech, but I'm checking. Yes.
Does Johns have a better idea of how his
This would be
systems work?
Comtech.
Yeah, does Johns have a better idea of how his systems work? And can he get that door open? I'm not great with tech. Johns.
He looks at you like, no, I'm a pilot.
All right, we're gonna try it then.
Okay.
Um,
Go
Well,
ahead and roll a panic roll for me, but there is a success there.
well, that's a 10. Like I said, I can't win. I should not be rolling for things.
3, 4, 5.
but
so
then,
9.
but that's where all the fun happens, though.
Okay. I think this is more satisfying if it happens, so I'm gonna make it the case that that's a success with the falter. You open the door, and inside of the room, John, I want you to explain the scene as you have it in your head as to what is happening inside of Scilab 1.
So in Scilab 1, you see Cham with his the side of his suit cut open, and he is bleeding a white fluid out of his and he is actively trying to repair it.
You would also...
And he looks, and then he looks up at you as the door opens, and immediately reaches for his rifle.
Yep. You'd also notice that in the room is also Reed's shotgun. So he has a lot of big guns in there with him as well. He's going for his rifle, like in a hostile fashion. Rye, what are you doing? Sorry. Miller, what are you holding in your hand when the door's opened?
My pistol.
You drop it because of your panic roll. Like, you're absolutely stunned because, again, you've known Cham for a while. What the
He's my
fuck? Just, you drop your
I am
pistol.
fairly certain that this is a cryo nightmare happening.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening. This is not happening. So, do you say anything, Champ, before you start the gusto, or are you going in for it? Johns is right next to Captain Miller. They're both kind of standing in the doorway.
I think you'll just say my apologies and then start shooting.
Yeah, and because of the hit on the like neck area from whatever wounded him, when he says my apologies, you can actually hear his voice coming out of two different spots. So it creates this very kind of like very creepy. Like it's more of like John, say my apologies on 3. 3 or 1, 2, 3. My apologies.
My apologies.
It's like that. It's like this weird kind of like it comes out early and then comes out shortly after, and it's like.
Oh my! I guess.
Can
Rye,
I scream just get down and hit the deck?
You're on initiative 3, Cham. You're on initiative 5, Miller, and Rye, you are on initiative 1. Sorry, what were you going to say? Go ahead. You going to say anything?
Oh, I said
Johnny,
hit
sorry.
the deck, but
I thought Johnny was going to say something. I'm sorry, I said John, didn't I? I'm such a goober.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so.
Y'all gonna have to change your names.
So who did I say had the 3? Cham had the 3. Miller had the 5. And Rye had the 1. Descending.
Is this where I had my bonuses?
Yep. you are everything you dreamed you could be. Okay, Miss Miller, Captain Miller. Your gun's on the ground. He says, my apologies, and brings the rifle up as if he's going to shoot you. That's not normal.
I am gonna dive for the gun.
Okay. That's a fast action. So you still have a slow action. You could shoot in response, or if you want a fast action, fucking book it. You can also run for cover.
I'm gonna shoot.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot.
It's that kind of day. It's that kind of fucking day.
It's that kind of fucking
my
day.
fucking day.
There is no fucking option. We're gonna do range combat.
Just this whole situation is like, what the fuck after that?
You're like, if I survive this, I might shoot. I might shoot more people. You know, I might shoot some more people.
Anyways,
Yeah. Roll another d6 for stress.
Yeah, I can't win this.
You can roll things that are not terrible that allow you to still act.
That's an 11.
Yeah. So 11 is seek cover. So instead of taking the action to shoot, you're booking it. You move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible, which is totally possible. There's the clear
Let's go
kind
behind
of
like a lab table.
Well, no, like as far as you can. You're
Sure.
retreating. Get the fuck out of there. You are not engaged. You are not engaged in melee, so there's no retreat roll required. Your stress level, because of your break, and everyone around you stress level, is going to increase by 1, but after this round you can act normally. But yeah, you are moving as far away as you can, and like for the most safe place you can go. If you wish to stay in the science lab, you can, but I would say, like, you know, mentally there's more crew members that can help.
Yeah, we're gonna go this way then.
Yep. I would say with the movement of a full turn, you can make it all the way to the living area.
Okay.
All right. Cham, she books it. Johns is the only person you have currently in line of sight. Do you want to shoot him?
I am going to shoot the fuck out of this guy.
All right. Go ahead and make a ranged combat roll.
No, mate.
Do you wish to put those all into damage?
Yes.
Okay, so Rye, you're standing next to this guy, and you watch as he literally is just. If you've seen RoboCop, I know you have.
Yeah.
The guy who gets obliterated by Ed 209. That's what happens to this guy. Like, just squibs like, and he just falls to the ground dead.
But that caused another instance of stress.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Not yet.
You're already
not
stressed
yet.
as it is. This is definitely just, you know. Go
Can
ahead.
I see Rye? Can I see Rye?
You can not see Rye. You'd have to take a fast action to kind of move into the hallway.
Would I know that they were there?
We got Nazis in this too.
I would say that your mentality at this point is to ensure that no one else is there. So you would pop out, and also
yes.
you are aware that Miller was there and ran. So you're more chasing Miller and then becoming aware of Miller. Or becoming aware of Rye.
Rye.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll pop out, and are they like right there? Like
right there.
As soon as, and I'll literally just put the gun to their forehead.
Oh.
Sorry, friend. I guess this is where we part ways.
Okay.
Don't say that.
I would say that because you had to move and shot your slow action, because you get 2 slow actions as you.
Okay.
But because you had to take that fast action to kind of engage, kind of move up, you're now putting Rye into engaged distance, which means that they'll have to take the action retreat to escape you, which is a slow action. But you won't be able to just do them right now, right?
No. I didn't think that. I was literally. Okay. I thought I'd just put the gun to their head.
If you didn't have to walk to them, like a full long distance, you could have. I just want to make sure you're clear on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, monsters attack twice, baby. Okay. Rye, you are up. If you wish to get out of this, you are literally going to need to retreat.
I mean, they were given the flamethrower, right?
You have a flamethrower. If you want to go to Scraptown, we can go to Scraptown. Let's get it.
Man, why is the only asshole here is a fucking robot? God damn it!
The only person who isn't an asshole is a fucking robot.
Who is also your best friend, by the way?
I'm sorry, friend. Just puts the gun to your head. Still warm from fucking murdering John.
This is very David coded.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, friend. This is where we part ways. This is my guilt that I have to carry with me now, as they're gonna try to burn,
Light him up.
light them up like our friendship, burnt to ashes.
Cleanse him
To
with fire.
shreds, you say?
Brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer.
And how is the wife?
Ranged combat, please, Johnny. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll a panic roll.
Alright.
D6 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Dude, it's been stressful, man.
Can't wait for the whole flamethrower to explode and take them both out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 6
Or-
plus 6, wait.
Or
Did you roll a D6?
Hold on. 6.
So
That's the highest one we got so far.
you say that, like you kind of say, sorry, friend, and you know the cool line, and as you kind of like pull the torch up and like, you know, the light from it kind of illuminates Cham's face like turns into like a smile, like a nostalgic smile for you that you kind of go, and you're like, in this moment, you just start screaming like crazy. And you're trying, like, your whole life and soul wants to pull that trigger and just do it. But your friend stands there before you, and your brain cannot click the difference between the fact that your friend either has always been an android or was replaced by one and is now trying to is going to successfully murder you. You scream in panic. I would say that the scream for you is cathartic. You will lose your next slow action, so you cannot burn, but you also decrease your stress level by 1. Miller,
For all the good that'll do.
as you're panicked and running, you hear Rye screaming, and it sounds like bloody murder. You will increase your stress level by 1. This game is so fucking fun.
I fucking
Anytime I
love
do
this.
anything is going to be a
This
severe
has
miss.
been everything, and we're not even done yet, folks.
I am fairly certain that I am in a nightmare.
Yeah,
I thought this was gonna be downstairs,
You
but
know-
it's better right now.
Yeah, no,
can,
perfect.
hey, could for the rest of the can drop the flamethrower and just give Cham a hug, even though the gun's pointed at their face.
I would say that that's fair. Like, that would be kind of a fast action kind of situation.
Sob and hug him.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with that, but I'm gonna pause it out because I kind of want to see how brutal the android is with you, and I want to kind of play it out. So the next beat is John's body spasms and blood just kind of shoots out of his chest in that next beat, and then Miller, you are not bound by any like rules or mechanics to keep running. However, you did hear a lot of gunfire, screaming. You don't hear anything coming from John's. You're gonna keep going. Okay.
Yeah. They gotta know we got a psycho fucking robot.
If your slow action is booking it, like full on running, you can make it into the comm station, and the door will shut behind you.
And I'm
However,
gonna immediately try to see.
I have to pause for a second because we have to do a bit of a retcon situation where we play out a situation. Tom, I need you to make an observation roll.
Okay, here we are.
Do you want to push it?
Sure, why not? Nope.
No successes, no panics. Wilson, she makes kind of a motion for you, and you kind of walk over to Leia and kind of like place your arm on the back of her chair and kind of go, and you start doing like business talk. We're heading back to, start doing and Leia's kind of like
I'll make
playing.
sure you're heavily rewarded for killing that.
Well,
creature
you're
earlier.
more talking about like shop, right? Like, you're like, are we on track? Are we? Do we have a course set in for the destination? And she starts talking shop, and like you kind of have her distracted, right?
Yeah.
Does Wilson notice anything about Leia in this moment? Again, in the 35 Mark 35 suit, kind of in the driver's seat.
No, just very irritable.
Nothing different. Nothing note-wise that you want to add to it for flavor.
No.
Not yet.
I know.
Okay. Just having fun. But Wilson, you would see that Clayton makes it over to Pilot Station 1, pulls a panel and draws out 2 cards, pockets them and shuts it without anybody in the space noticing, while Miller is out.
Okay.
Then Miller rushes in, probably a good minute or two after that, and Clayton is back at life support by the time you get back. But Wilson's still hanging out with Leia. And you barge in, sweaty as heck, and you have about a couple seconds here as you kind of enter in during this round. What would you like to go? What would you like to do? Sorry, I was reading Elizabeth's chat message. It's really good, and trying to say a sentence at the same time, and they just kind of blurred.
Wait, who?
What would you like to do? I said, what would you like to good? It's really good.
It's good. It's great. I love this game. I hate this game. I love this game.
This game is everything.
I'm fucking panicked. So as soon as I get in that door, I am trying to shut it, lock it, put shit in front of it, saying, Cham's a synth and he's gone psycho.
Clayton kind of looks to Wilson confused, but Wilson kind of looks at her like, what? Cham is not a synth. No. Cham passed background. Cham should not be a synth.
Cham is a synth.
I have background. No, I got background.
I'm pretty sure
No.
He just murdered.
Cham passed background, which means that he had a physical, like he went through like everything a corporate employee is supposed to go through. Passed the piss test, all that shit. So Wilson's brain is like, what? From who? It's obviously not Wayland Yutani. Who the fuck's synth is that? If that's true. Okay. Cham, you're up next. It does look like, as you have the barrel of the pulse rifle kind of against Rye's head, Rye kind of like tries to move past it and kind of reach out to give you a hug. What would you like to do in response?
So, how many actions do I have?
2 slow actions, or 2 fast actions, or 1 slow action and 1 fast action.
Okay.
Pop off, King. Go slay.
I'm literally just gonna hit them with the rifle.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll shoot them. I'll shoot them.
Yeah, you can be as ruthless or non-ruthless as you want to be in this space. So
No, I'm gonna shoot them.
okay, go ahead and make a ranged combat roll. Okay, do you want to do additional damage with this, or do you want to do something else? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a total of 6 damage. Now you have a suit on. John's did not. So it is going to stop the first 2 of that with each shot. So that means you're going to take 4 damage.
Okay.
So you still alive?
I'm at 5 health?
Okay.
How's that?
You have 5 health remaining, or you have 5 health after the shot?
After the shot, because I have the 5 bars full. But they still have 12 altogether.
Got it. So
Am I doing that right?
7 remaining.
Yeah, 7 remaining.
Okay. So if 5 bars are down, that means you've taken 5 damage, which sounds about right. The bullet breaks through your front shield, opening you up to the environment, and hits you in the forehead. You feel it bounce off the bone, and Cham, as you like detonate the shot into that, you see the suit kind of break away a bit on the back side as the back is blown out by the mushrooming kind of rounds that fire through. You still have another slow action, and Rye's kind of dropping down a bit. Do you wish to fire again?
Nope. I'm going to the reactor.
Okay. You kind of brusque past Rye as Rye kind of moves to the drops down a bit, and you walk past them and enter into Junction B2. Rye, you are able to see that through the blood kind of like draining down your face, and Rye, you're up.
Can they try to stop the bleeding the best they can, or?
Yeah, if you want to, you can. That's absolutely fine. So, I mean, it's not so bad that it's going to cause problems. It's just more like cool looking. The damage is there. I don't think there's any way to heal yourself.
No, just like like some straps they probably find around and try to wrap around the.
They could cauterize the wound.
Or that too.
Into
Yeah.
Their own face.
Oh yeah. Come to face. Dude, I guess since the science lab's open too, I guess they would try to move and.
Well, I would say that you do see Champ move into Junction B, which is the ladder that goes up and down. It doesn't go up because it's sealed, but it does go down.
Down. And probably to the reactor, most likely then, right?
Why would they want to go to the reactor, Rye?
For only good purposes, I assume. No, they're probably gonna connect the two and two. It's like they're gonna blow this shit up, aren't they?
If you would like, you could follow behind, but you could also pick up the shotgun that he left behind. He never said that he picked it up from the room, and you could follow after him with the shotgun. If you want.
You know.
If you want to go a bit more of a safe route, you could chase after Miller and try and get some help that way. But if you want to do something immediately in the situation, seeing what Cham is doing, you could do that. The screen did kind of relieve a little bit of stress, so you're a bit more level-headed, but it's your call.
Yeah. You know, it'd be very cinematic to take the shotgun and chase after.
You take the shotgun, you use your movement to get to the junction, and basically at the bottom of the ladder, you see Cham mechanically kind of step down. And it's in this moment, you kind of go, something shifted, and I don't know when, because he doesn't move like that, but you're standing above him and you have the shotgun. So how would you like to play it out? Do you want to shoot at him from above?
Yeah.
Okay, take the shot. So range combat.
Range combat.
Okay.
Oh
So
my God, dude.
go ahead and roll a panic roll.
We love it. We love it. 5.
Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3,
2?
4, 5, 6. You still have 6 of them, so it's going to be an 11, 12. No, I'm bad at math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 5 is 11. So you kind of move up there, and just for flavor, what I'm going to say is as you kind of get ready to take the shot, you would see him kind of start moving his head up, and you realize he's going to spot you. So instead of shooting, you kind of drop down to the bulkhead and get low and get into cover. You are going to increase your stress by 1 because again, Terminator, right? You're fighting the Terminator.
Yep.
But he is not going to see you.
Okay. That's fine.
Johns will bleed more. I'm going to go ahead and remove him from the board. Miller, I'm going to remove you from the combat situation unless you wish to re-engage.
Nope.
Didn't think so. If you'd like, you can make a heavy machinery roll or a comms tech roll to try and secure this door to a point where it can't be breached, kind of like the doors upstairs.
Where's
So,
heavy machine? They're both zeros.
Rye rolled
so...
2 panics.
Oh yeah, so when you roll panic, it's only the one time.
Okay, gotcha.
When you're in combat, when you're not in combat, it's kind of not on a temporal state. There's no chain. So I just kind of go, well, we'll go ahead and go with the second panic then, see what else happens.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't think that's in the rules to do that, but I kind of do it because it just makes more sense.
We're gonna do heavy machinery. We're gonna try to rig this thing to just never open again.
Oh my.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and make a panic roll.
Oh.
And since this is happening during the heat of combat, I'm going to say that it's just going to be the 1. So
Yeah,
12.
another 12.
You start screaming as you're trying to get it to work. I will say with the double
Actually, 13, I think.
Oh, am I bad at math?
Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
8
what?
panics.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So you try to make this work, and I would say because of the nature of this roll, it's going to be a success. It doesn't say you're going to lose your action here, and you are already fled. Flee is the action. You can't take it anymore. You flee to a safe place. You're making that safe
I'm as
place.
far away from them as I can get.
Your stress level is going to decrease by 1, but because no one else in the room knows what the fuck is going on, everyone else has to make a panic roll.
Yeah.
Clayton will say, "What the fuck is going on?" and is keeping it together. Leia, you are also fine, doing well.
gonna be a 6.
Okay, you're able to keep it together as well.
I would, however, like to take some actions in response.
Okay, go ahead. Are they drug related?
Leia. I mean, they could be. I think, yeah, Leia is gonna take off the helmet and the gloves and pop another pill and just be like, "Can you all just shut the fuck up? None of you have done anything helpful. None. Just screaming and knocking shit over. Just fucking stop."
I haven't done any of that actually.
He says that, and he's standing right next to you. Do you have any responses to that, Leia?
Yeah, I'm gonna punch him.
Okay, just flies up.
Do I
out
get
of the
any
chair.
bonus? Do I get the bonuses to the strength?
Oh yeah, no, it's full on. Yeah. We're gonna discuss what happens with this punch too. It's gonna be very fun. So you're gonna make a
Leia?
Push
Yeah, this is great.
push it. Oh no, you can't push when you have a d6 roll of a 1 on the panic dice. So go ahead and roll a panic roll.
Got it.
7. Your stress level and all the stress levels of any friendly PCs in your range are going to increase by 1. The punch is still swung, but Wilson's going to kind of like back away and dodge out of the way. But as the punch kind of extends out and the glove is kind of off, when like Leia kind of is up and kind of like brings the fist back, you'll see them kind of open their hands and there's like weird blotches, like black blotches on their hand, and they kind of just start wiping their face clear of sweat as they kind of like stop for a second.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So do I increase my stress level since they swung the punch at me?
Everyone in this room should have increased their stress level when that
Okay.
punch was swung and that fumble was rolled because of the nervous twitch.
Okay, I just making sure.
That's including you again, Miss Miller.
Yeah, I brought it back up to 8.
Okay, so we're gonna cycle back out from you. I would like for let's actually go ahead and just, we're in so many combats.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're adding everybody, and so Wilson, you got a 9. Leia, you got a 6. Miller got an 8. Clayton's on 1. And we're going to recycle through in a descending pattern, but I'm going to quickly do Cham and Rye again, and then we're going to actually use the initiative. Make sense? Okay.
Yep.
So, Cham, you are not aware that Rye is moving around above you. Like, tangentially, I would say you'd be aware that that's happening just because movement is happening up there. But you're pretty sure it's just like the death throes of a dying person. So you're continuing on.
I wouldn't have heard like cling, 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 cling.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, that's pretty loud.
yeah,
Yeah, but she could have been running
he's
away.
in a suit. That's true. Could be running away, and you are on. You are already at the bottom of the ladder.
Okay, so I'm just going to assume I don't know they're there,
Yes.
but I will say out loud that just in normal tone, that it would be ill-advised to follow me if you would wish to shorten your life expectancy.
And again, it's coming through in that double voice, like it's coming out of the throat and out of the mouth.
And then he says, comma, friend.
Comma. Friend.
Oh my.
Comma. He says comma.
Yeah, he says comma.
I love that. I love that so much. You make it out of Junction B and you make it into reactor relay control. I would say that you have a slow action available to you. It is a
Yes.
process to get the reactor where you want it to be, as we discussed. Since you're doing it in a durational, I'm going to say it's going to require you to take a total of 6 slow actions. Obviously, you're going to be faster at it because you're an android. 6 total slow actions, and those slow actions have to be met, like at the beginning, with a heavy machinery roll. If you fail that heavy machinery roll, which we can roll at the beginning or the end of it, depending on how you want to do it. But you cannot abort the process until it's completed. And
Okay.
so if you don't succeed and you make it through those 6 turns, you'll have to start again. Make sense?
Yes.
So if you want to roll it at the beginning, you can, or if you'd like to roll it when you get to those 6 actions, also fine.
I'll start rolling it now.
Go ahead and roll it. You just need to roll the one time heavy machinery.
Any dice?
Huh? No benefits here.
Nope.
That's insane.
And
Well, that's a lot of rolls.
and you cannot push because you are an android. Okay, so
That's wild.
you heard so many dice. You heard what was said. Rye, do you wish to follow, despite the warning from the murderer machine, or do you wish to do something else?
I mean, going through their
Don't be-
mind.
Don't be a hero.
Don't be. Don't be.
You know what
No.
they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be try to be the hero here. To them, he thinks he got Cam killed, and this imposter is trying to blow up the whole ship. They feel like this is their responsibility to do this, so they're gonna chase after and
The imposter, they're sus.
Yep.
You gotta check them out the airlock. Among Us. Among Us. Game Among Us. Okay, so you would be able to make it to the door of the reactor relay pretty quickly. Again, it's not terribly far. And I would say that you would, again, be at a point where you can try and take a shot. But, again, no, even if you stir for cover, they're going to be aware of you. Period. So go ahead and, if that's what you're wanting to do, range combat.
I think they're trying to prep themselves, like deep breaths, trying to focus their mind first before
Yeah.
initiating anything. So just trying to, hype themselves up to actually take the shot for the next time. So they're just focusing in, thinking what's at stake here, taking cover, then they're gonna take the shot afterwards.
Okay.
So for now, they're just taking cover.
You are not shooting. Got it. Okay, so
No.
then we are going back to the top. Wilson, something's wrong with Leia. Looks like the drug sweats, but also the blotches are weird. I would say you know enough about xenomorphic properties to understand that they might be infected with spores, neomorphic spores.
Okay. Definitely glad I still got my suit on. Wilson will say, I think Leia's had their suit off before, and I don't think they got deconned in time.
You would see Clayton say, "No, she was inoculated immediately," and kind of like panic looking around. And then you see her, like, blood, like when you look over at Clayton when she says that, there's blood coming out of her nose.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you need a shot.
Did you think this was going to be just 1v whatever? Bitch.
Yeah. So, I mean...
We're
the
not
only thing
trapped
I
in
can
here
think
with
to
you.
do is-
You're trapped in here with us now.
High five, girl power.
I'm going to...
I was like, hey, fuck all of you.
I guess swing at Leia?
Punching?
Yeah, I don't really have much else I can do.
Okay, fisticuffs. Love it.
So I just click strength.
Uh-huh. That's a success. Yeah. So you would punch her in the face. And if you have any damage mitigation, you're still technically wearing your suit. You did take the helmet off, though. I'd say they don't have really called shots, so they're punching for you, so to speak.
I was going to say without double success or whatever, hard to...
Yeah, I would say that
shot.
the punch will probably just bounce off of the suit. Is
Okay.
more or less what's happening here. Okay?
Okay.
But you do get a hit in. It just doesn't seem to really register because of the suit.
Okay.
Miller, you would turn and look at the situation. It looks like your pilot and your corporate representative are currently duking it out, fisticuffs. Clayton
And
is...
this bitch is bleeding from her face.
And this bitch is bleeding from her face. Yeah, that is...
And
I just have
super
hives and I'm
sus.
angry.
I want to take one of the inoculation syringes out of the case
Yeah.
and rush this bitch and stab her in the leg.
She says, wait, I've already been inoculated. Ah!
I don't give a shit.
You shove it into her and you depress? Do you depress?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that moment, she starts convulsing and she will fall against the life support panel and kind of hit it in like a way that is, it doesn't look good. It causes a lot of lights and other things to kind of like light up. And she is convulsing like her back to the wall in response. That would be a slow action, I would say. Drawing the item and then it would have been the fast action. Yeah, we're locked in. That's what your turn would be. Just rushing her with the inoculation syringe and
I'll
plunge
put
her.
myself in her space.
Yep. Leia, you are up. That's happening over there, but Wilson seems to be the problem.
Sorry, repeat that.
That's happening over there with Miller and Clayton, but Wilson seems to be the problem. How would you like to proceed?
Yes, I am going to attempt to maul Wilson, and I read the rest of the card that you sent me originally, and I should not have stress, and now I get 2 actions.
Correct. You are a monster now.
Yeah. Always have been.
Right.
All right.
Well, ever since a specific moment and choice that you made. If the game were to go on a little bit longer, it might happen to others.
All right.
Yep.
Just wild flailing.
Yeah. So you do get to attack twice, though. So you can swing again if you want. Okay.
2 successes.
So the damage type, or the damage result, or damage amount for the mauling?
Are you asking?
Does it say on the card?
I did not see it on the card.
Hold on a sec. GM, boom, bam, pow, change layer, tokens. It should be in the center. Strength is increased by 3 and health along with it, and agility by 1, while your empathy is reduced to 1. You cannot use empathy-based skills, nor firearms and other technological items. You're immune to manipulation, stress, and panic. You cannot push rolls. Finally, you get speed 2, meaning you get to draw 2 initiative cards at the beginning of combat and can act on both. Oh, okay. So you don't actually get 2 slow actions, and you're just hitting normal. I believe. Yeah, you're just hitting normal. You're just doing good old-fashioned clubbing. I need to figure out how armor works.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't Android have armor?
Armor breaks. Got it. Okay, so it's like temporary hit points instead of like a reducer. So in actuality, the suits that have been damaged are damaged and are no longer providing the armor amount. It would seem. So that would be true of the androids as well. The android suit is compromised, so there's no armor benefit from it. And no, androids would not have any benefit from armor. They are fleshy synthetics. They're not. You're not fucking Data or lore in this case, I guess. So, you just get the 1 attack. The second attack would happen during your second initiative. I'll pull another card. And that card is a 4. So we'll keep that roll. If you're still around on... Oh, it's next. So, yeah.
Yeah,
perfect.
so I guess it works out all the same.
It happens now. Yeah, okay, cool. You can go ahead and push to break the armor. Like, if you want to break Wilson's armor, that would be that roll, because you'd be doing 2 damage and applying it through. Okay. Who moved my card? Meanies? Anyways,
I'm sorry, it was like way in my face on my screen. I did not realize that was for everyone. I thought that was a personal thing. So
nope. It's gone now.
Reduced
We
to
only had the 1.
Oh.
Don't
Does that mean I'm
invite
cured?
don't invite Lark to game night. She's just gonna be like, well, fuck this. I don't need these game pieces anymore.
Yeah, you flip the
It was in
table.
my control, so I thought it was just a me thing.
No worries. I don't know how you. Oh, because it was a card. All the cards are for everyone. Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Game silly. Leia, are you breaking the armor then? The suit?
Leia?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you want to describe how that's done, or do you want me to put some stank on it?
I was going to suggest that Leia is going to grab him by the suit and kind of rip him around to slam him to the floor, and probably have the fingers holding onto the suit start extending as drives him in.
Yeah, so as you're kind of pulling, you're actually kind of tearing at the suit. And so when you hit the ground, Wilson, there's like a good amount of fabric that's been kind of pulled away from the shoulder and neck area. And so your like corporate suit underneath is now bare, and you can feel the rush of contaminated oxygen. You can get the musty smell kind of entering into the suit.
I'm gonna need one of those decontamination shots.
I don't think anybody's
They feel great.
Bye.
They feel fucking wonderful. Sham. You are
Since I didn't get anywhere with it with the first roll,
you are focused.
am I able to?
So
I'm
you are
focused. Okay.
you are spending 2 more slow actions, so we've got a total of 3 slow actions. Now you can abort, but you'd have to have good reason. And so far as to say, I don't think Rye, because Rye specifically said sneaks up,
Fair.
breathing isn't doing it yet. It's kind of like that. You're just like android ready to blow up the ship kind of situation. So it would go to Rye, who is up next.
Did you want me to roll?
No. It's not rolls for each check. It's 1 roll for each 6 actions. Yeah. So you're going to be spending the next.
That's a while.
It's again. I told you it's going to take a little while to fix this thing, or like make this thing do what you want. Even when you went down there the first time. So
I don't think I understood the gravity of how long that is.
It's a bit, but you can break off from it. It's just that when you return to doing it, you're still locked in for those actions. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
So once Rye starts becoming
turn.
once Rye becomes a problem, you've got 3 more actions, not turns, 3 more slow actions that you have to commit to the bit to be able to realize that you fucked up the first try and have to try again. Understood?
Oh, that's a while. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to take you 9 actions minimum to do this, the thing you want to do. You're trying to overload the reactor. It's not a simple switch of...
No.
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't
a self-destruct. There's a self-destruct button.
I didn't assume that. I just thought it was based on rolls.
No worries.
That's my bad.
So, Champ, you're focused in and totally set on the process. Rye, you enter in if you wish to, or you can remain.
Right.
What do you like to do?
I think it was the moment.
The moment. This is the moment.
This is the moment, thinking about the little brother at home.
You pop
and
out.
the past friendship with Cham. Pop out.
Shotgun.
And shotgun.
Blowy.
The range combat.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use my talent too.
Okay.
What is it? If I click it. Is it going through? I don't think it's going through.
No, it's not. You just tell me what it does and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can just copy and paste it.
That works too.
Here we go. Bloop. Seen it all, done it all before.
Once per act in cinematic play and once per game session in campaign play, you may ignore all panic from a single roll. I love the narrative you've constructed with this. This is actually beautiful because you're breathing. There's like moments where there's like a flashback of you and your brother, and then like your brother in the hospital and you sitting by their bedside, and then like a flashback to the picture burning, and like your mind kind of like just being a roaring torrent of fire, and then like quieting, and then you kind of come around with a shotgun ready to go. Take the shot. So you ignore all panic from a single roll. I do want to stress something. You did roll the roll with the panic on there. You see how the only successes you got were panics?
I guess the question is, does the panic mean, ignoring panic mean ignoring the panic that was a 1, or all of the dice?
Great question. I'm going to check that, because it could be the case that you're ignoring the panic dice entirely. Let's see. But it could also be the case that you're ignoring a panic that happens. I'm reading stress and panic. Bear with me here.
Mhm.
Oh, it doesn't say.
I
Oh,
also
the
said
no.
something in yours.
Wordings are specific. These are stress dice. They are not panic dice. So you are not ignoring the dice. You are ignoring the result of the panic. The panic doesn't happen. The shot is good. And you can double the damage, or you can do a stunt, something that you would want to happen with the shotgun blast that would be cinematic in this moment. Remembering that Cham is at the control console and is basically pulling together the pieces to kind of jury-rig it to explode.
What if I like a collateral and into the control panel to try and destroy it so that it can't override or
I
overheat.
fucking love it. So, as mentioned before, John, you do not have any armor because through the neck, right, and the fight with it thereafter. But you're going to be taking some damage here. So the shotgun, I believe, does 2, same as the pulse rifle. Let me double check. For sure, this is
Did you the thing I sent you?
checking now.
Not the first thing, but the thing after.
The first thing, yes, that'll probably happen. Second thing, no, you no longer have those.
That.
You are not a person anymore. So that is going to be 2 damage to you.
Hard.
And then it has a stun effect. I want to check and see if stun effects... I don't think they work on androids. No. So, the shotgun takes it, fires it, hits you. 2 damage on you. And that's in addition to the 2 damage you've already suffered. So keep that in mind when you're calculating your total.
I got it.
And you see that the console that you were working on, it was already, like, as this moment of clarity hits, as, like, the damage is taken from you and you kind of feel more white goo coming out of you, you look down and you would see that your efforts here were in vain to start, but now are more in vain, and you do not think it is possible for this reactor to be overloaded in the way that you want. The only thing that you could do is turn the reactor off. And that will take 3 slow actions past this point. But Rai has effectively stopped you from being able to destroy the ship this way.
Yeah.
The only other way that you can think to destroy the ship would be to get to the bridge and fly it into a sun.
Then you're gonna stare at the androids. Not today, motherfucker.
Love it. Gotta have a phrase. You still have a fast action. If you want to move or do anything else.
I guess try their best to take cover. That's a fast action, right?
Yeah,
After
that's
doing
fine.
that,
they can kind of negate it just by walking around the corner. But
yeah,
that's absolutely fine.
I know. I mean,
okay, that's it for you, right?
Yep.
Scene cuts at that very cool action one-liner. Not today, motherfucker. And it goes to a scene of convulsing Clayton and her head exploding. A weird, small, snake-like creature bursts out of her head and starts moving under the holo display table. Wilson, you're pretty sure that's a neomorph. In its nymph stage. So, that's exciting. What would you like to do next? You're locked in here with it. And also her.
Yeah. So could I in order to get away from Leia, I have to make a
You're
DC,
engaged, so you have to slow action retreat, right?
Okay. And then I'm assuming to grab one of the syringes and inject myself would be a quick action and a slow action.
I would say that it would be a fast action for you to do it to yourself.
Okay.
But to get one would be a fast action as well. So you can grab one this turn off of Miller.
Yeah.
I do want to stress, though, you did just watch Miller inject Clayton with it, and her head exploded.
True. True.
Maybe that's just a bad reaction when you're already infected.
The nymph inside it might have been, already there and then came out.
So, just for general knowledge sake, would I know if the corporate life pods have cryo sleep?
Yeah.
They do.
Do you want to run?
Okay, so
Wait,
yeah, my thought process here is, I know my job. So I'm actually going to DM you this and ask you this.
Yeah.
He did see me inoculate myself before they headed up to the top of the ship, because I did that while we were all in the hall.
He did see that. Yeah, that did
So
happen.
he knows that it didn't make my head explode.
Yet.
Right. It wasn't immediate. That's correct.
Just wanted to add that one on there.
Looking at the side message. Yeah, that's exactly what they want. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah,
That's the plan.
And there are 2 of those, by the way. So you
2
can
of the syringes left?
No, 2 of the escape pods.
Oh, yeah. That's
So you don't even have to be in the same escape pod as the other person. You just have to be launching at the same time.
Yeah. So in order to grab those escape pod keys, that would be a quick action too, wouldn't it?
That would be a fast action. Yeah, you could rush over,
Okay.
grab it off of her as Miller's kind of backing away from the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to run away from Leia, run over, grab the passes.
I want you to make an observation roll just for free. I'm just going to give this one to you for free. You flying colors. Miller has the syringes on her. Miller has injected her with the inoculation. Okay, the inoculation's worth a shit ton of money too. If you and Vanessa can get out of here with her as she is, winning. Dollar signs. Probably the best thing that you can see in this current scenario. Dollar bill y'all's side without,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna run up, grab the 2 keys. I'm gonna look to Miller. I know you don't like me, but for both our sakes, unlock that door. Let's get the fuck out of here. Grab the keys
Yeah,
and
no, that seems
show her
like-
the keys to her.
Miller, you're up.
That's
You see that Leia is in an enraged state and is kind of looking after Wilson. I think you're locked on, right, Tom? Is that fair to say? Okay.
okay. I'm going to look at Leia and very sadly say I'm sorry, and then go straight to that door to undo what I did and get the fuck out of there.
Okay, so it's going to be, since you did it, it's a heavy machinery roll. I am going to ignore panics on it.
Okay.
Because you did it. I can't think of any other benefit or boon I can grant to you being the one. Yeah, that's not a
Oh,
success.
that's so unfortunate.
Can I get help?
No.
Can I get help? No.
Not from Wilson. He's completely useless. So you do rush over and start trying to force the door. However, for whatever reason,
I really reinforced it. I did too well.
you did your job too well.
Yeah.
That is a slow action. You still have a fast action. Can't think of anything off the top. So I'm going to go ahead and move it on to Leia.
I am gonna run up and try to pounce on Wilson.
Yeah, we've got a target locked in.
We're gonna
Kill
do
him.
it as stylishly as possible, and spooky Cronenberg kind of movements across the hollow table.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a moment where you kind of rotate your arm, right? Like you're doing an arm rotation, like a stretch. But instead of it just being a normal stretch, there's a cracking sound that you hear. And when the arm comes down, the forearm is extended half a foot.
Yeah, had maybe pommel horse vaulting over the hollow
Oh,
table and having the back extend as we're doing that.
Oh yeah, spines coming out.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking love that shit. That's a hit. So
Okay.
1 damage on you,
question
Wilson.
for you.
Go ahead. Oh, I already know what's happening. I can't wait.
Like to use my talent.
Yep. So you back away. You get as close as you can to to your good, because you were moving with her, right? Yeah. Okay. And then
So,
go ahead and just
I do that?
post the text. Just post the text. Just post the text. You can just copy and paste the text.
Mhm.
Oh god, I can't wait for this to be posted, you guys. This is gonna be funny as hell. Lark is gonna kill Brent. Like, your crew members are expendable. If you are attacked or otherwise end up in fatal danger, and if another PC is within short range, the same zone, which is true, you can make a manipulation roll. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So this is not a situation where you are manipulating the target. You're manipulating. Got it. Good. So then, yes, this can be used because it's not manipulating the infected. Go ahead and make a manipulation roll.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
Wait, is it opposed by something?
No.
No, not opposed.
Just need the success. So that is a panic, though. So go ahead and roll a d6. What'd you get? Plus your stress is 5, or 5 on the dice? Okay.
Plus my stress is 5.
Nothing changes then, you get the success. So instead of hitting you kind of move to the side and kind of go, ah! And then kind of push Miller like astride to like get her attention. And when she turns, like her turning actually creates a barrier between you and Leia slams into Vanessa Miller. The thing that Wilson just used, those watching, yeah, the thing I read, very much funny for me. Okay.
My second turn.
Yeah, you can get past Miller, or you can fight through Miller. Your call.
Can I roll the attack first? Because if I get a stunt, I want to shove or like
Oh, no, I like that.
chuck her at him.
Okay, so what we'll say is like we're kind of focusing through. We're going through both. Go ahead with that attack. Let's see if you get double success. Didn't. So do you want to kind of just like focus in on her and just kind of slam into her?
I guess so. Whatever's in front of me is probably the goal.
So what I would say is that the first one, as you come up behind and she kind of turns, you kind of slash into her like a bit with your weird fingers and kind of break a bit of the like front paneling and kind of damage a bit of the armor of the suit. And then with that second one, you just kind of like angrily, like the situation just makes you kind of lose it. You reach forward with both hands and slam your fingers through the glass of the suit and then pull downwards, kind of tearing the metal a bit, breaking it out from it. And there's like just a shard of glass covering the top portion of the suit. And then below that, like the jaw section of the suit has been pulled away, revealing her mouth to the air.
Sorry, boss.
She doesn't say because she's...
Yeah. Join us.
Cham, you know what happened, and you know who did it, and he did give a pretty cool one-liner, but the commercial's over, and it's your turn.
So, Jam's head rotates like an owl, just completely 180. Rips the suit. He stands up and then twists his body. Says, "Oh, you're gonna regret that."
I have no regrets.
And it's what is it? What's the name of the? I forget the name of the corporation.
Oh God, it's up in your
Wyanti?
personnel. Yeah, it's up in your.
No, Wyanti's.
It should
What's this corporation, not my corporation.
Wayland Yutani.
Wayland Yutani.
Oh, I'm just gonna say Wayland Scum. And then you hit comma friend.
Wayland Scum, comma friend.
And then walks out and just points the gun at
pulse rifle.
Yep, I'm ready.
You want to range combat?
Yes. Do it twice.
Do it twice.
Okay.
All right. Do it
4 damage and then 2 damage.
Just double the damage.
Alright.
Are you still
for
total of 6?
1, 2,
I
3,
did my math right. I think he's
4, 5. Yup, I'm chatted.
And he's gonna say, human, don't make this any harder than it needs to be.
Okay. This is wonderful, right? So comes out, like smashes into your suit. Like the last remnants of it are kind of like sparing you. You can feel bullets lancing through like the meat of your shoulder. You're like, grip on the shotgun's like loosened, and you kind of fall back a bit with like a sickening kind of splat as you hit the bulkhead, and your blood is kind of like smearing as you kind of like slide away a little bit. How would you like to proceed? You can try and climb the ladder and get to junction C2 and climb up. But you're not going to be able to escape him pacing-wise. He is definitely going to outrun you. The shotgun shot did do a bit of damage to him, and it looks like he was already compromised by the wound that he took from the creature. However, you don't know if you're going to be able to kill him. Like, it's not a surefire thing, right? Like, you don't know if a last stand here will be successful. It's very much...
Can I say another thing?
Yeah.
Yep. Man, they're already expected to die anyway.
You
What?
should not have been a hero. This is
You're
your
right.
fault. You would have lived a few minutes longer.
This is your fault.
This is your fault.
No. I know.
Gaslighting ass
Now-
is synthetic.
This is my first.
He literally
It's like,
lied.
now you will-
His whole existence was a lie, Tom.
Yeah.
He is gaslight the incarnate. Rye, you running or are you standing and
No.
fighting?
This will be my first and last mistake. He brings up the shotgun. I will fix this mistake I've committed and shoot the gun.
Shooting at him. Take it.
Yep.
Let's see it.
You should accept your fate.
Now, that's going to be a really good roll, but that panic is going to cause us a problem. So go ahead and roll. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So roll d6 plus 7.
Yep.
Tell the
12.
human, accept
Oh.
your fate.
Plus 7,
Okay.
so that's 12.
So you're going to not shoot again. We've been in this situation before. You're like,
Yep.
I made the mistake. I'm gonna fix it. And you're like, doing a war cry, trying to like psych yourself up to do it, and like kind of like build up enough like motion in your body to fight the pain. You lose 1 stress. Nobody is near you, so nobody gets additional stress. But your scream, your battle cry, it will stop you from taking your next slow action. You still have a fast action if you would like to take it. And again, just making sure like we understand like what is on the table option wise. I mean, I'm just gonna check and see if there's anything like.
I'm looking through here too.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's gonna be, unless you have like an explosive device.
No,
Like unless somehow you got a grenade, I don't know about. Retreat is the
yeah.
retreat is a fast action, you guys. I'm sorry, I've been terrible to everyone. Retreat from engage is a fast action.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
Well,
so is block attack, but it's for close combat. Oh no, it's for an attack in close combat. Okay, cool. So you could prepare to knock his gun out of the way if you wanted to as a fast action.
oh, I guess if that's the best they can do, I was.
It literally is, yeah.
Yep, that's the best they can do.
Unfortunate,
So
but
how-
true. Okay.
Yep.
Clayton's Clayton's baby will tear through a portion underneath the hollow display table and make its way into the underworks of it and start making its way towards the hull of the ship. Wilson.
Yeah, so I don't imagine I'm trained enough in heavy machinery to be able to open this door myself.
Yeah,
Try.
probably not. But you could try. You could also. Miller had to holster the pistol.
Yeah.
So to do the machinery. So you could just grab the pistol as a fact action off of her person and try and use that.
You could also try to grab one of the syringes and stab this bitch.
Also worth that, but it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, there's 3 left though. That's one
Is
for
there
you.
That's
left?
3 times the money.
Yeah, there's 3 left. So there's
Okay.
1 for you, 1 for her, and 1 for the money.
Yeah, I guess fuck it. I'll grab one of them and inject it into Layla in hopes that it stops them.
Close combat.
Oh god, I'm not good at that either. Hey, let's go.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey.
So, it impales into you. Leia, when it enters into your body, the best thing I can kind of give you in a mental sense is your character is a drug user. They have dealt with like this sense of elation from drug use, and it kind of hits like a very big high. There's a moment you can hear singing,
The DMT.
and for the next round you will be blanked out. However, they don't explode. Nothing crazy happens. They just kind of back away with the syringe stuck in them and kind of like place their hands on
that
their
shit. Ah.
Right.
Get the door open while she's distracted.
Miller, you're up. Heavy machinery.
That is exactly what I'm going to try to do. Trying to see over my cat.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a panic roll.
Yeah, this can't go well.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I mean, it's a 9.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
It's as good as I could have gone.
So you're not carrying any items. You're not doing anything. This isn't going to drop anything from you. But I would say that like as you're kind of like tearing through this stuff, you kind of like, because he didn't grab the pistol belt in like the swinging in combat was kind of broken, and it will fall to the floor like either unbeknownst to you if you want to do that narratively, or beknownst to you if it's important to you and you want to focus on it. But
maybe it got hooked on something and I just kind of like
it dropped off.
just rip it off. And...
But literally what's going to happen here is that slow action terminates with you opening the door. So you could use like a fast action to run through and make it to the corporate suite now. Like you could run that far right now as a fast action. You'll be at the door of the corporate suite if you wish to be.
Well, I kind of need this asshole.
Well, he's going to follow right behind. Yeah, he's going to follow right behind.
Oh yeah, he is next turn order. Yep, going to the corporate suite.
Okay. So as mentioned, Leia, in this turn, you are like fully elated. During the turn, Wilson, what you see is she's kind of like holding her head, and like it looks like her face is kind of smiling, but then she kind of like sneers. Her bottom jaw drops, and you watch as her top jaw falls out. Like the bone of the skull drops down like a good 3 inches, as do her teeth. And her jaw seems to extend outwards as if something was pushing it down and away from her skull. And her mouth seems to like double in size in this horrific, monstrous fashion.
Shouldn't have used the evolution stone on this Pokemon dog.
Shouldn't have used the evolution stone on this Pokemon dog. So Leia, that's your turn. Cham, GG, right? Like you're just gonna scoop this motherfucker.
GG, well played. Hey, I done my job. You gotta finish yours.
Yeah.
Come on.
So for the first attack, Johnny did prep, so you can make a close combat roll to block
Yeah, I
the
was just
attack.
gonna step. Oh, okay.
Alright.
So go ahead and make a close combat roll, Johnny.
Okay.
There's no contested here. If he succeeds, he's blocking the attack. And he succeeds. He succeeds with stunts. So there are 2
Turbo
stunts
succeed.
here. How would you like to apply them? You are blocking the gun as he's getting ready to put it into your face and shoot again. You have 2 stuns, so that's a lot. Okay, you can kind of do some cool narrative shit here. What would you like to do?
I guess they stand up, grab the gun, and push the gun into their face, trying to knock them down onto the ground.
Are you trying to secure the gun, or are you trying to remove it from their person?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this moment, Cham, you kind of watch as you kind of move the gun in slowly kind of towards their face, methodically, getting ready to just pull the trigger point blank, no problems. Yep. The hand comes up in an angry kind of rage, and then his other hand reaches up and grabs a hold of the handle of the gun, and he kind of wrenches it out of your hands in this moment of not superhuman strength. It's just you weren't really holding the gun super heavy because you were preparing for recoil. That motor moment was the perfect time to hit, and he secures the gun.
You'd assume that it wasn't ready, or it was just going to be easy.
Yeah, literally the only perfect moment that would have been taken from the android was that moment. And he takes the weapon from you. It goes to your second slow action. You can just punch him in the face.
I'm going to step on his head.
Okay.
No. Oh, no.
Go ahead and make a close combat roll of your own.
No.
Okay. So bear with me here. That is a success. That will be 2 damage, Johnny. But, hold on.
Yep.
I believe I need you to roll 2d6.
Okay. 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
12. Wow. I hope that's good.
You rolled 66? Oh, no, yeah, you're dead. Hold on a second.
Oh, fuck. I want 2d6s.
That's literally the only way.
Crits are bad.
Hold on. I need to find that chart.
No, the higher is the worst. No.
Combat and panic.
That's so funny.
Damage.
Oh.
Death. Critical injury table. 66. Okay, so it's a D66 is what they call it. You roll a 1s and a 6s category. We were going to do the 1s on the left, 6s on the right. You rolled both 6. So instead of stepping on his head, what ends up happening is he kind of, as you're kind of taking the gun, he just reaches forward and kind of pushes you with his his arm. And then as he's going to step on your head, he instead kind of only is able to get onto your chest, but he pushes down on the chest plate of your armor with enough force to cause it to splinter and pierce inwards and lance through your heart. The effect is an impaled heart. Your heart beats for the last time.
No.
The scene cuts from Cham, and we'll go back to... Rye, you bleed a bunch. Clayton's worm runs around. Wilson, running?
Yeah, I'm running.
Great. Miller, the door of the corporate suite is not accessible by you. However... Wilson, your fast actions can be open the door, and then your other fast action can be secure the EEVs, which would be the escape vehicles.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Let's see. Cham, we're going to go ahead and drop out of combat, because what's going to happen here is I think Leia is going to chase after them, but the corporate suite door will be shut, and Leia will just be kind of banging on it, right? So as you're kind of getting into the EEV and securing yourself in this next beat, the door is kind of bending inwards as Leia's kind of slamming through it with her unnatural strength and trying to get through.
Okay. I'll definitely take one of the inoculation things also. Whenever
Absolutely.
we're getting through.
Okay.
I was gonna toss one into your pod if you did.
Yeah, just if I can do that when I get the bots ready.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely fine. If that's what you want to do. So you two guys, you two folks get
I
into
could
the EVs.
also inoculate you on my turn. That's
No, turns aren't needed. We're out of turn. We're out of combat. Sorry.
Okay.
Gotcha.
We're going to be re-entering
I
combat.
know how to administrate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I can inoculate you.
Yeah, he's seen it twice, I think now, or at least once. So I think he could figure it out. You go ahead and do that. So you enter into your EEV. Once you get your suit off inside the EEV and it's launched, you kind of, pull the suit off, drop it to the floor. Not much room in here for much, so you've got a pile of, spacesuit, but then you kind of look at the inoculation and you administer it as you escape. And Miller, you're kind of settled into your EEV. You're launched out, and like everything kind of just falls away as you can see through the portal window. The ship disappearing, and as you're kind of tumbling away from it, because it's not spinning, but it's kind of like slowly kind of oscillating. But as you move away from the ship, you can also see like a small little pinprick of light that you just know is the Montero. And it's kind of like this moment of, well, hopefully someone finds us and is able to get us back
for Mr.
to
Man.
Mr. Man.
I want to
Cham,
be reunited with my cat.
I love that cat too as an android.
you move towards the bridge because you would know that is the only way you're going to be able to destroy this vessel. Unfortunately, that creates a situation where we have monster combat. Because once Leia breaks through the door... Go ahead.
I'm also going to pick up the shotgun.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, off of Rye's corpse. For sure. But that's going to create a situation where we have monster combat. Because the infected is going to want... Or you're going to want to fight the infected. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Okay. So
I have to kill it. I have to kill everything now based on directive.
Yeah, for sure. The mission objective is it is what it is. So Leia, I just want to make sure, Tom, you are smashing through the door, realizing that they've launched out of the EEVs with your like lowering primal instinct and popping back out to see Cham walking down the hallway. For some reason, they don't upset you. There's nothing about them that angers you. They just seem like no different than the wall panel.
His suit is like torn to shit though.
Oh yeah, and he's bleeding. Like there's white goo kind of trailing after him.
And he looks more mechanical now. He's like walking like. Again, you know what I mean?
Not interesting to you whatsoever. Like you are definitely just this is whatever.
All human shit dropped. Just being an android.
How would you like to proceed?
Well, if they escaped, or at least as far as I can tell,
Yeah.
With rapidly deteriorating brain function, I'm guessing I don't know of any magical way to shoot them from here. So I might go on the prowl back up to Cryo to see if somebody is barricaded in there.
So, Cham, you would see that Leia, kind of seeing you, looks disinterested, moves around the way and heads into the stairwell and will go upstairs. You have a mission.
I'm gonna keep heading towards the
Perfect. When you get inside, you would see that there is a pretty brilliantly set up kind of rig to lock the door behind you. Do you want to reestablish that?
Yep.
You have no problems doing so. And then you move to the pilot station that was reactivated, and it appears that you can pilot the ship in a limited function, setting a course for the nearest star. Is that fair?
Could I also whip it around and send it towards the other ship?
The Montero?
Yes.
You would know that would take a very long time. It would be you would get to a star sooner than you would get back to the ship.
The ship.
You're heading to the ship.
Yep.
Okay.
I gotta erase
You're
everything.
gonna murder Mr. Man.
So what I'm going to say is that we're going to cut from you, and I will explain what happens to you cinematically. I will say this: your character is dead. I will say that from this point forward. I just want you to understand that is the case. But
That's fine.
we will get to that in a minute. You are heavily outnumbered. Focusing in on Neomorph.
Wait, what? I'm outnumbered.
Neomorph, Abomination,
Oh, right.
Xenomorph. Yeah, we have a whole fucking grab bag of xenomorphic material in this mission.
The android don't give a shit. He's just trying to erase everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, stuff will happen here. So we're going to focus in a bit, though. I want to make sure we discuss the narrative here.
Yeah. No, you're good.
As you pilot the ship and try to make it back to the Montero, which again is a long process, the door eventually does break. And with the limited ammunition that you have, you fight back against the abominations that are present. One of them being Leia. the other crew members having turned into abominations, rushing into the space. You run out of bullets with the shotgun, and then behind you, a black figure rises up from the cover you were kind of taking, the hollow display table, grabs you and smashes you in half across the side of the table. Your ship, still on track to go where it's going, will continue to do so, but apparently the functionality
That's all I was worried about.
the functionality that you had that allowed you to bypass detection by Wayland Yutani's scans and see you as a person were sufficient enough to make them think that you were one too. And that initial bite from the xenomorph definitely turned it off to you, but the abominations had no such favorite. The thing that killed you, the thing that crushed you, was Clayton's neomorph.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that I set a course.
Yeah, we're going to
impacting the.
you're going to fly. You said it to fly right into the Montero, but we're going to discuss some things. I'm just going to let you know. I'm sorry, you are not successful in that operation because there's a cat on board, and I can't allow that. But we're going to focus back in on
there were
the
promises
escape
made.
pods. As you sit there, and the few hours that you've been inside of the escape pods with the the alert beacons going off to Wayland Yutani through a Wayland channel, similar to the ones that were already present from the derelict, you both start to feel really strange. Like, it's hot in here. But environmental controls say it's like 60 degrees. You keep pushing it down. You keep pushing it down. Wilson, you're not a stupid guy. But you realize you made a mistake. The inoculation was no such thing. It wasn't fully tested. You should
I
have
thought that
just...
was the one from the med lab.
All of them are bad.
Okay.
The inoculation was no such thing. You think to yourself, well, at least the corporation will find it and be able to do with it whatever they want. Slowly, both of you in your independent escape pods, your sensibilities falter. Your temperament changes. Your anger rises. As the nature of the black goo, so to speak, in a very modified and augmented way, takes hold of you. And you become something not yourselves inside of those escape pods. Meanwhile,
thought is of Mr. Man.
back at the Montero, a beautiful cat sits.
Does he look like that?
He's crying in desperate despair and desperation.
Is he pressing buttons?
He's near the food bowl, and it looks like it's completely full, but you can see the bottom directly in the middle.
So he thinks there's nothing in it.
So he's not sure whether or not there's any food, and he wants to make sure that everyone knows that he needs the food. The slow burn sound of a ship in impulse can be heard outside. The clanks and clangs that come with a umbilical being connected to a ship are sounded. No evasive maneuvers are taken on the part of the Montero, so whatever ship is connecting to it succeeds. And a group of space pirates board the Montero.
It's funny.
The third ship.
And we'll show them where the food is kept.
They will take the cat as their prize, as well as the ship, which will serve them well. It appears to be a heavy trawler. A lot of Wayland Yutani material. The umbilical's fucked, they'll need to get that repaired. But the cat lives. And that's where we'll end tonight. Thanks for watching those that did.
But where does the
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, you just
our ship go?
It just flies off. Yeah, derelict. It will eventually run out of power.
Fails.
You flew to a target that's not going to be there when it gets there.
Oh,
So sad.
Yeah.
I could have lived.
damn it!
Yeah,
I
you
thought I
could have
was
lived and had
fucking
all the
playing-
money, but you took the inoculation. Thanks for watching. We're going to probably chat about it off screen, but thanks for watching this finale. And yeah, I really love this system. I do want to do more with it, so there will probably be something from the channel with Alien in the future. So if you're interested, just keep an eye on that. And thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.